It took a little while to get things going. Week one always has a little bit of technical difficulties behind it, but we are here and we are live and we are excited. Coming to you from Children's Health Stadium in Prosper, Texas, it is Texas High School Football presented by John Wade Roofing, and this is an abbreviated pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast booth here at Prosper ISD. Alongside my partner, Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold. We've got a new score bug tonight that's going to be operated by our friend Yadi Pagan, and we have a camera operator downstairs by the name of Merrick McDonald. Jot, one of my favorite things about the Zap Network is being able to provide opportunities for people, and Merrick is one of those people, and across town over in Justin, we've got a couple more interns that are helping out over there. I'm just excited to get the football season going. You can tell by how out of breath I am.
I'm excited to get the football season going. Shout out to the interns that we get. A lot of those come from Tarrant County College. We have access to it with me being an adjunct and having connections there. Daryl Holting and Chad Jones running the internship class as part of your capstone for your degree. So we appreciate all the help that the interns have given us both last year and the new ones with us this year, Zach. I'm out of breath too. We had to finagle some things together, but you can't be week one football without putting things together, right? And putting things together is what we're going to see on the field between two teams that made the playoffs last year in Rock Hill and your Arlington Bowie Volunteers. The Volunteers, they have a whole different team, Zach, but they're going to be led on offense by the same superstar they had last year in Mad Max Nichols out there at receiver.
He was the district offensive player of the year with over 1,000 receiving yards and several touchdowns, and it will be a tall task for this Prosper Rock Hill defense as they make their way out onto the field. It's a sea of housing just behind us here at Prosper ISD. They will have a north-south configuration with the western sun setting behind us, and we are excited for football season here in Prosper, Texas. But yeah, Mad Max Nichols is going to be the focal point, and he's going to have a new QB1 in the form of number 5, Mason Nichols. He saw some time last season when our starting quarterback, Jaden Bibbs, went down with an injury. So he does have some on-field experience, and he'll be looking to utilize that experience here in week number 1. The Volunteers made the trip up north, and when I talked to head coach Joseph Sam about why he did that, he said, our goal is to play for 16 weeks. And he said, in order to do that, you have to travel a good bit. And so we made that trip up to very far north end of Texas, so far north that we're off of the tollway. Like the Dallas North Tollway ended, and then we had access roads in order to get up to Children's Health Stadium. So very far north end of the Metroplex, but still excited for week 1 Thursday night lights nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a very far trip, but we got a chance to drive by the new Universal Studios out here in Frisco on the way to Prosper. We got a chance to visit that this past summer. While we waited for football season to start, if you haven't had a chance, folks, get out there. It is fun, especially if you have kids between the ages of 3 to, say, 8. They will enjoy it. Hopefully they enjoy some good Friday night football here. On the other side, Prosper Rock Hill has a good player that we matched up against Mad Max Nichols, and that is Courtney Lawson. He is looking at multiple FCS recruit scholarships. I know most notably Wofford was one of the ones recently offered to him.
The Terriers.
He will be on the other side. He is a not a dual sport athlete. He plays both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Last year he had 508 yards on offense, but he's getting recruited as a cornerback to play cornerback at the FCS level. So Mad Max will have somebody in his face as we have an exciting game for us here at Prosper ISD High School.
Yeah, Prosper High School proper is not too far away from this campus, but it is the Rock Hill Blue Hawks that have only been around for about 5 or 6 years that will be taking the field tonight, as the Volunteers, as you see on your screen here, are going to be clad in all white with their orange jerseys, and Prosper Rock Hill is set to go in their blue and black here tonight. Temperatures are still hovering around triple digits as we get ready for the officials to come out. The captains are here, but the officials are not here for the coin toss. So while the officials come out to midfield, we'll take the time to remind you that all Zach Arnold Productions pregame shows are presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. They're a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan that is tailored to your small business's need and budget. Call April or Jason today at 817-265-3346 or go to chapman-cornelius.com.
Zach, while the officials are taking their stroll out there, let's go ahead and check over Chapman Cornelius commercial, and we'll be right back on the other side of this commercial break.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Captains are meeting at midfield as we just got to say hello to our friends at Chapman Cornelius. The weather report is sponsored by Modern West Windows and Doors. See the difference quality windows can make in your home in this crazy Texas weather by getting a window from Modern West. Temperature this evening right before kickoff, 99 degrees on this warm night for football. Not a whole lot of wind off of the uprights, but we'll see if it plays a factor as we get ready for kickoff.
And there's an orange dot I want to mention
single,
out on the other side of the
single
stadium
orange
here.
Dot.
The few volunteer fans that have made it from Arlington is a very far drive from South Arlington. I live in the HEB area. It took me an hour. In the upper deck, there is a single orange dot. Just it sticks out perfectly. But he is here for some exciting football for the Volunteers. Hopefully our new cameraman can get a good shot of the fan who made the drive as we are getting ready for the national anthem to be played here at Rock Hill High School. And as we get ready for that national anthem to be played here, we're going to step aside and say hello to one of our favorite sponsors, John Wade Roofing. As they do the national anthem, we'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Hi there. Welcome to Wade Funeral Home and Crematory. I'm Blake Wade. We're proud to be a sixth-generation Arlington family, rooted in this community and committed to walking alongside our neighbors through life's most meaningful moments. Our mission is simple: shepherding families with love and respect and honoring God in all we do.
As we are here back at Rock Hill High School, we are ready for the national anthem. As you see, one of the volunteer fans who made the drive up there on the upper deck at Prosper ISD Stadium here. They're going to play the national anthem. We're going to step aside. We'll leave the mics quiet, leave the cameras on. We'll be back on the other side of the anthem. As we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, that was the national anthem. We didn't get a chance. We don't have a crowd mic here with the location of our booth at Prosper ISD Stadium. We're up top, level 4, in the windows, but we have an in-house audio mic that we can hear the crowd, hear some hard-hitting action as we're getting ready for the opening kickoff here of Week 1 high school football. On the other side of the ZAP network, the Arlington Colts, they'd make the drive all the way out to Keller to go play the Byron Nelson High School. That's on the other side of the ZAP network. That game, I believe, kicks off at 7:30. Pops will be on that call, so make sure you tune into that one. Tomorrow, we also have another game on the ZAP network. I'll be at Choctaw Stadium for the Sam Houston Texans as they take on North Mesquite, as they're going to welcome in their new coach there at Sam Houston after Chris James retired at the end of the 25 season. So we got a lot of hard-hitting action for you folks this weekend.
They welcome their new coach and new announcer.
They will welcome their new announcer here, too. You know him as Bowie Volunteer legend, the voice of the Volunteers. He is Yadi Pagan. He will be doing Sam Houston Texans games, announcing it at Choctaw Stadium as we are getting ready for opening kickoff here. That's tomorrow. Tonight, we got a good game between two teams both looking to make the playoffs again. The Volunteers, back-to-back District 8 6A champions. But now we have a new district as we welcome the Aledo High School Bearcats from 5A football up to the Arlington ISD district. We are District 3 6A. Aledo, Weatherford, and Granbury. So we got a lot of good football this year, as the Volunteers have won the toss, elected to receive, and we are ready for football here, I think. The referees who made their way out here late have to go out there and check on a few things, make sure the players are ready, get in position. It's not football season without a cramp in my left thigh, and I can feel it already. Referee getting everybody back into position to break out of their huddle before we get this opening kickoff. Game clock here, so the clock's still counting down. 26 seconds left to the official kickoff time. Tick, 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 tick. 22 seconds on the scoreboard here. And we are ready for some football. The Volunteers are going to come out with the ball first to start the 2026 season. And that is kicked, but there is a flag. Let's go ahead and do it again. I thought we were ready to start the season, but the scoreboard operator has yet to put the official 12-minute time on the scoreboard, Yadi Pagan. So now we can start for the third time to get all the players lined back up and kick the ball off to start 2026 as the Volunteers, back-to-back district champions, looking to get a new district championship crown, District 3 6A. They got to go through Aledo later on this year. Of course, the schools in Arlington, Granbury, and Weatherford. But tonight, they take on Rock Hill. Zach's around here somewhere. He's doing a little managing. He's the man in charge. He's got to take all the extra phone calls. So we stepped in. We are ready to go for the Volunteers offense. As this ball is up, it is a pooch kick. Fair caught at the 38-yard line, and that's where the Volunteers will take their first possession of the game. Number 13, Darian Carson, the receiver senior, catches the ball at the 38-yard line. New quarterback this year for the Volunteers, as we mentioned. Jaden Bibbs has gone on to do great things. He has graduated high school. Mason Nichols, new quarterback number 5. On the outside, we're still looking, though, at all-conference player Mad Max Nichols. It's one of his receivers. Kedrick Osunde Brown graduated, but we have Antonio Birdow on the other side. And in the backfield, we are looking at Joseph Campbell, the running back there with LaQuintus Jones and Zayden Smith. As the first play is an RPO that is tipped at the line. Second down. Good pressure by the Rock Hill High School team to get out there and get in the face of Mad Max Nichols. Get in the face of Mason Nichols. Who's looking at Mad Max on the slant. 2nd and 10. Ball is at the 38-yard line. Shotgun look, 2 receivers at the top of your screen. Mad Max at the bottom, one-on-one. Running back slides over. That's Campbell. That ball's going to be handed off to Campbell. He fights his way through up the hole. He's going to manage 2 yards before running into the pile. Good job by the offensive line, though, to give him a little bit more push. It's going to be marked down at the 41. 3rd down and 7. Coach Sam expected big things out of his team. They had a lot of turnover on the offensive side of the ball, but he's still expecting big things. That's why he schedules a very, very long, very far non-district game against Prosper Rock Hill. 3rd and 7, trips right. Nichols drops back. He's looking. He fires out to Campbell in the backfield, who is going to take a hit back at the 38-yard line where he caught it. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and we have a player injured. He's going to get up quickly. Good play back there by the safety for Rock Hill. And I believe that was number 1, Courtney Lawson. We called his name earlier to start the game. Looking at a lot of D1 and D2 scholarship offers. Lawson's going to be the other player that they're looking forward to. We have Nichols on one side, Lawson on the other, and Lawson's shaking up after that hit. He plays both sides of the ball, cornerback and receiver. As that ball is going to be muffed by the punter, he's going to fight for it. He's scrambling. He can't get it, and that ball is going to be brought down at the 11-yard line. That is not how you want to end your first drive of the season for the Volunteers. But Rock Hill is happy as they'll take over at the 11-yard line. On the other side of this break, we will be right back with more Bowie Volunteer football after this.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
1st and 10 at the 13 for the Blue Hawks as they take over after that punt. The punter dropped the ball, took a loss. Now the Blue Hawks are in position as the first play is going to be a handoff up the middle. Good job by the defensive line of the Volunteers to hold that running back to 3 yards. 2nd and down. That was number 5, Michael Alfred, the junior running back. 2nd down and 8. As Volunteers jump off sides, it's going to be a free play. Throw out to the left. Good caught at the 5-yard line, brought down at the 3. So free play is going to result in good yardage. We'll see if the Blue Hawks take it to be down 3rd down and about 2, or they'll take the easy 5 and do it again at 2nd down. That ball was caught by number 8, Brady Wilkinson. He is a junior tight end. In the backfield for the Blue Hawks, the quarterback, we're looking at Austin Ferris, number 6, junior quarterback for the Blue Hawks, who made the playoffs last year at 6-4 before getting knocked out after a first-round win. After getting knocked out in the first round, I'm sorry.
They got eliminated by Denton Geyer in the first round. They had to win against McKinney in week 11 just to make it to the postseason.
I see. They took the penalty, 2nd down and 3, as that ball is a slant thrown into a Volunteer who should have made the pick, but he doesn't. 3rd down and 3. Good play there on defense by number 17, Caden Gerdow. The Volunteers trying to get a stop after that bad attempt on the 4th down punt where the punter lost the ball. 3rd down and 3. The Blue Hawks have the ball. Ball at the 6-yard line. Send a man in motion. Drops back. He has a man in his face. He is going to take a sack down at the 9-yard line. Good sack by the Volunteers. Number 0. You use 0 for a reason. You give up 0 yards there. Good job, Kyle Johnson, junior defensive tackle. 4th down, and the Blue Hawks are going to bring out the field goal team.
And that's a big stop for Bowie defensively after the special teams mishap to try to force a special teams field goal deep in the red zone. We'll take that as a win.
That is a win there as the kicker is going to get the ball. It's going to be held at the 15. It is going to be in for a field goal. 3-0 Blue Hawks lead. 9:15 left to go in the first quarter. We're going to step aside after the Volunteers managed to hold that drive to 3. We'll be back on the other side of this break.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home.
Welcome back to Prosper, Texas. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold. Had to step away to help with some technical difficulties that are happening as the Arlington Colts get ready to face Byron Nelson over in Justin. It's week 1, Jot, and it's happening on a Thursday, and so everything's moved up a day. Our preparation time has moved up a day, and every now and then it just affects us a little bit, and we have to make sure that it's all smooth sailing. And I run this crazy company, so sometimes I have to do certain things in order to make sure that the show goes on for all parties involved. That game is going to be also live on the Zap Network's YouTube page. It was scheduled for a 7:30 kickoff. I believe we kept to our 7 p.m. kickoff because this game is being broadcast on the local airwaves. The NFHS network has a game going broadcast to the right of us, and over to our left is the Channel 27 crew, formerly CW33 crew, covering some Thursday night lights. So a lot of coverage here tonight, but we know that there's a lot of Bowie faithful that are tuning in live in the chat. We appreciate you because there's about 24 people or so that made the trek up north, and we've got a pretty strong contingent so far here on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in. Hit that share button. Let the folks at home know that we are live and ready for some high-flying football action.
Speaking of high-flying action, Zach, as this ball is getting kicked up into the air, fair caught at the 32-yard line. Let's let everybody know Zach has now reached 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube page. Zach the Voice has made his way up to 1,000, all thanks to the loving fans of the Volunteers and the Colts, as we get ready to do some more Texans football as well. So all fans, Colts, Volunteers, Texans, and anybody else in between, we thank you for helping the Zap Network reach 1,000 subscribers. I think he might have been outside throwing a party while I was doing that first drive.
That was hardly what I would call a party, but we are excited to rock and roll with you all this entire season long, and 1,000 is just one of those hopefully many milestones, as this is a rollout to the right, and it is caught just behind the 40-yard line. Nice little out route to pick up some solid yardage there. That reception made by number 13, Darian Carson. They'll call it a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 as we go under 9 minutes to go here in the opening quarter.
And Carson will get more playing time this year with Sunday Brown graduating. You still have Birdow back there. You still have Nichols out there on the other side. So good job, Carson, being the 3 receiver, being ready to catch the ball when it comes to you.
Nichols back to pass. It's going to be a quick throw up the seam, caught across midfield. That's a Bowie first down. Great reception there by Birdow, the young man that you were talking about, and he'll pick up a first down in Blue Hawks territory, moves the chains, and the offense is moving quickly.
Birdow missed a few games last season. He has a chance now after that big catch to continue on his momentum.
RPO as this one goes out to the flat, and there's a bit of a corner down to the 30-yard line as they pulled back on the potential handoff. Birdow again on the reception, and Bowie is in business.
Picking up where he left off last season, Birdow is with back-to-back catches. Now the Volunteers are about to be in the red zone at the 29-yard line, knocking on that door.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They're looking left. It's a little out route inside the 25 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Good pickup there by Mad Max as he makes it 2nd down, and we'll call it 3 on that reception of 7. Chris Villacorta tuning in on YouTube saying, "Let's go, Bowie." Thanks for tuning in tonight. Four receivers set. Deuces are wild, 2 on each side. They're going to go with a wide receiver screen, and he's got some blockers. Mad Max is going to lose the football. It's on the ground. Who's got it? It looks like Bowie was able to fall on top of it in first down territory. So it will be a great heads-up play there by number 54, Willie Gay. Right place at the right time. And it is enough to move the chains into the red zone at the 17-yard line. That
is a benefit that worked out in your favor there for Birdow getting the ball back. You don't want to have fumbles on back-to-back drives, but you work your way into the red zone.
Trips to the right with the ball on the near hash now. Nichols back. And he'll hold here with 7:50 to go in the opening quarter. First down and 10 from the Blue Hawks 17. Mark Wilkinson, the head coach of Prosper Rock Hill. And he's looking to try to hold on to that 3-0 lead as Nichols has some greenery, and a flag is down in the backfield in the area of holding. He'll pick up 5 or 6, but this one is most likely coming back.
Yeah, that's a bad holding on the backside there by the offensive line. Nichols did a good job rolling out, seeing that the defense was too far downfield. He had a good pickup of 7, but that's going to knock him back 10 to 15 after that penalty.
Yeah, it'll take us from a 1st and 10 to a 1st and 20. Moving things outside of the red zone. But Nichols and company are in business. Defensive coordinator Jesse Johnson hoping to see if he can hold the Volunteers to 3 here in this drive. Coach Joseph Sam in his 6th year at the helm of the Bowie Volunteers. You'll get to see a sports spotlight that we got to have with him during the halftime show later on. Empty backfield, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, and this is a fumble, and it's picked up by Rock Hill. No, Nichols was able to get it. There was a Rock Hill defender right there at the 45-yard line that thought he was going to have a scoop and score, and instead Bowie avoids disaster, but now they face a 2nd down and a quarter of the football field back at the 41.
And that young man that had a chance to recover the fumble, he is hurt. He looked like he rolled his ankle trying to pick up that ball. While the trainers check on him, we'll check on our sponsors. We'll be right back on the other side of this break.
At David's Barbecue, serving the Arlington community is a family tradition passed down through multiple generations. From perfectly chopped brisket to generous portions of all your favorite sides, David's believes good barbecue should come with fair prices and a friendly smile. So whether you're grabbing lunch, feeding the family, or just craving some Texas barbecue with hometown hospitality, come see what makes David's a local favorite at 2224 West Park Row. Stop by and taste the tradition. Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98, and the next time you have a roofing issue.
As we're back here at Prosper High School, 56, Jack Wilson, the defensive lineman who had a chance to pick up that fumble, got up under his own power, walked off the field, but he did look like he was limping a little bit. He had a chance to recover the ball. Instead, the Volunteers fell on it, and this drive that looked very promising has now gone back to 2nd and 34 with the ball at the 41-yard line of the Blue Hawks of Rock Hill. The Volunteers had so much promise to start this drive. They made it down the field. They got into the red zone. A holding penalty on a Mad Max on a Mason Nichols run was negated the 2nd down, and now we're looking at 2nd and 34. Shotgun look, 2 receivers left and right. Campbell in the backfield with Nichols. As Nichols drops back, fires quickly. That is wide receiver screen, and it's going to be dropped underneath by Carson. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 34. The Volunteers at this point are just trying to get back into field goal range. I don't know what the field goal range is for the Volunteers this year. We will find out here soon as Jones Jr. is back in the backfield for the Volunteers. Nichols is going to send everybody out. Zayden Smith now is back in the backfield with Nichols. 3rd down and 34. 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter, and the Blue Hens still lead 3-0, as we're going to have a timeout called by Rock Hill, trying to make sure they got the defense alignment that they need. And while they take a timeout, we will take a timeout as well. We're right back on the other side of this commercial break.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of '97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
Talking about things from going bad to worse. This is not how you want to start your season if you're the Volunteers. Before that timeout, there was a false start by one of the offensive linemen for the Volunteers to push it back to 3rd and 39. The ball is at the 46-yard line. As we have a timeout still on the field. Fans, we want to let you know that this game and all games are brought to you by John Wade Roofing. We do appreciate all of our sponsors, John Wade, Modern West, Chapman Cornelius, and others, as we are opening the season here for the Volunteers. Pops is on the other side, I guess not other side of town, other side of the Metroplex, somewhere near Keller, as the Arlington Colts are going to take on Byron Nelson High School. That game is scheduled to kick off at 7:30. Tomorrow, I will be on the call for the Sam Houston Texans season opener as they take on North Mesquite. They introduce a new head coach and a new set of golden pipes in Yachty Pagan. It's not really new. He's more of a, he's not rusted yet, Yachty. His voice is still there. It's just kind of majestic. As it's 3rd and 39, I got a laugh from Yachty in the background. 3rd and 39. Ball at the 46-yard line. 7 minutes still left on the clock as Nichols is going to take the snap. He's going to roll out to the right. Quick fires. That is caught by Nichols. Steps out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It's not going to do any damage, but it might make it a more manageable 4th down if the Volunteers decide to go for it. That was Mad Max who caught that ball in for the 7-yard catch. And the offense is going to stay out there. Look for a pooch punt here, possibly from Mason Nichols if he has the leg to get one up. You don't want to give good field position to Rock Hill in a game that is only 3-0. 4th down and 31 at the 38-yard line. 6:23 left to go in the first quarter as Nichols is going to drop back under pressure. Good job avoiding the pressure. Rolls out. That ball is thrown short. It is picked off at the 28-yard line. And that is the first interception for the Rock Hill this season. They're coming off happy. Jake Chauvin, the linebacker, number 7, was all over Carson for that interception. And that is going to be a turnover on downs after the interception. Rock Hill will take over at the 28-yard line. The Volunteers have had the ball twice. They've ended both badly. One on a fumble that went over the head of the punter. This one ending on a 4th and 31 interception. And now Rock Hill's going to come out in a double stack formation. Ball's going to be spotted at the 28-yard line, and that's where they start their second drive. First and 10, ball at the 28-yard line, double stack, so 2 receivers stacked on top of each other on the outside. As it's going to be a quick screen over to the right, it's going to be fired, caught at the 26-yard line. Good defense by the Volunteers to keep any type of possession from going further. Number 18 for the Volunteers out there, Jamal Williams. For Jamal Williams, first one to make the play, gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. There's number 12, Justin Sanders, the junior, caught that ball. 2nd down, and the running back's going to be brought down. Good play by the defensive line. Number 0 again, Kyle Johnson. Big fella up the middle. 3rd down and 11. Didn't get a chance to look at my play sheet before they handed that ball off. 3rd and 11. Ball at the 27-yard line. Volunteers are trying to force a 3 and out to get the offense back on field to try to turn things around. It's only 3-0 in the first quarter. 5:23 left to go as the clock's moving. 3rd down, the snap. Under pressure. Fires up to the right. That is incomplete. Over the head of the receiver. Good defense by the Volunteers. Colin Colvin, number 12, the corner. Locked down the receiver for the Blue Hens. Blue Eagles.
Blue Hawks.
Blue Hawks. Man, I've said every bird.
Delaware.
I've
Delaware is the Blue Hens.
I've said every bird today. Eagle, hawk, falcon, something. Blue Hawks.
The Blue Hawks, and that was good coverage out there
Colvin.
on Colvin's part to close the gap on that pass and force the incompletion, and now Bowie should be set up in good field position.
Would you say he hawked down the receiver there?
I thought I was trying to find a pun, and I couldn't come up with it.
There you go.
And it looks like there's going to be a stoppage of play. Timeout, perhaps?
Timeout Volunteers, I believe. We're going to keep it here, folks. We have covered.
A false start is what they're saying.
We've covered a lot of time on our sponsors here this first quarter. So we're going to talk a little bit, Zach, as I know you haven't had much action to see first quarter. Taking care of some things across town.
Luckily, it's only a 3-0 ball game, and I did see that field goal that Rock Hill kicked. So I've seen a good portion of the important parts, and I should be back here to go, good to go for the remainder of the evening. Eddie Reyes live in the chat talking about the Bowie O-line and D-line. We love to give our props to the big boys up front as well. And it looks like our advertising worked, Jot, because Chris Villacorta in the chat said, I've been meaning to go to David's Barbecue. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, hey, when you drive by David's Barbecue, let them know that Zap sent you. And let them know that, hey, I'm looking for a good old brisket sandwich. I might be over there on Monday.
No, you can't go on Mondays. They're closed on Mondays.
Oh, my goodness. That's right. That's good advertising there. Closed on Mondays.
Closed on Sunday and Monday, open every other day of the week, so be sure to go hit them up when you can.
See, that's the thing about doing late games, Zach, is that when you're hungry, anything sounds good, but then you realize how far it is.
Exactly.
And we're out here in Prosper, so we're an hour away from my house in Mid-Cities. It's a far drive to the nearest place of food.
5:15 to go here in the first quarter. 2 timeouts remaining for each team. So they got the timeout before they got the delay or the false start penalty. We go back to the 4th and 11 that we originally had. And the deep man for the Volunteers hovering around his own 40-yard line. Man in motion. Almost a block. It's going to be an end-over-end kick that they will let get away, and it'll take a Bowie bounce at the 40-yard line, and it'll get downed right about there by the Blue Hawk special teams unit. So that is where Bowie's next possession will start. Jot, bring me a little bit up to speed and do a little bit of a recap for the folks at home. What have you seen from the Volunteers so far in this first 7 or so minutes of action?
Holding on to the ball has been very hard for the Volunteers. They've had 2 drives, both ended in ways that had the ball on the ground. The first drive ended in a punt with not even a punt, the ball went over the head of the punter. Second drive ended in an interception after a holding penalty negated a good run that would have brought them into red zone, into scoring territory. As first play, handoff up the middle, and there's going to be no gain on that one. That ball is handed up to Jones. No, that's going to be handed off to Smith, Zayden Smith, in here as an athlete. Second down and 13 after that loss of 3. And the offensive line needs to get things going for the Volunteers. Mason Nichols, on his most successful plays, have had to use his legs rolling out to find an open receiver. But the offensive line, they're not getting any push up the middle. This is a new offensive line all the way across for the Volunteers. And we need to find somebody to highlight here. You got good players. You got a lot of size, but we need something out of it. Second down and 12, 4:25 left to go as that ball's going to be a play action. Toss up the middle over the head of Carson, who was bird out open on a slant. Nichols just threw it over the head of Birdow, who had room in front of him. Third down and 12. And it's just little things that are hurting the Volunteers so far early. Rock Hill is playing good defense, but the Volunteers have had open plays. They've had holdings. They've had false starts. They've had fumbles. Just taking care of the ball. They can't get any push on the ground for runs. Everything's being held to Mason Nichols at quarterback, having to get things going for the Volunteers. Third down and 12. Ball still at the 38. Nichols drops back under pressure. Nobody around, and there's no blocking. He's going to be brought down for a sack at the 34-yard line. And the sack's going to be credited to number 3, Riley Hines, the linebacker. And the Volunteers offensive line just let them down on that drive. Hines went up the middle between Johnny Campos and Austin Wright, right guard and center. 4th and 16 after the sack. The Volunteers are looking for their second punt, looking to see if this one actually makes it into the air. As this one's going to be kicked into the air, end over end kick. It's not going to go very far. It hits down at the 49, takes a Prosper Rock Hill bounce, and fielded at the 42-yard line. 3:32 left to go in the first quarter. The Volunteers need to get something going. The defense has been a very big bright spot for the Volunteers to start this game off. The defensive line has made multiple plays in the backfield, led by Kyle Johnson, the junior defensive tackle. He has showed why he's earned his starting role as a junior. And now the rest of the team just needs to follow. The defense is doing great, keeping this score where it is at 3-0. But the offense, they need to figure something out here early. Again, it's the first game of the year, getting some few kinks out. Defense always knows what to do. They need to read and react. Offense has a lot of things to work on. 1st and 10, the ball is snapped, and that is going to be thrown on a bubble screen, incomplete. Under pressure there. Good job by the Volunteers defensive line. As Ferris's pass was incomplete over to number 8, Brady Wilkinson, the tight end. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 42-yard line of the Volunteers. Wilkinson's going to go out, 5 wide set for Rock Hill. Man in motion. The snap fires over to the right, and it's going to be dropped at the 41-yard line. Hood footsteps did the running back. Bring up 3rd down. Colvin, number 12, for the Volunteers. He scared him. He didn't want to catch it. Had a little butterfingers there, or he saw a ghost or something. Bring up 3rd and 10. He got spooked. It's not even Halloween yet. That was number 6, Austin Ferris, who dropped that ball. 3rd and 10, 3:23 left to go in the first quarter. As quarterback's going to drop back, he's going to have a man in his face. He throws one over in the seam. That is going to be it. Had a chance for an interception, almost had a chance for a catch. Going to bring up 4th down. Number 27 for the Volunteers on defense. Had a chance for the pick, but then that ball slipped away past the hands of Zion Davis into the hands of the receiver for Rock Hill, who ended up dropping it out of disbelief that the ball had made it to him. 4th and 10. The Volunteers defense has done a great job. The only 3 points should be credited on the offensive fumble by the Volunteers after the first drive that led to a field goal. Other than that, back-to-back 3-and-outs for Bowie. As this ball is going to be almost blocked. It is blocked, tipped, and it's going to be spiked down at the 35-yard line. Good block by the Volunteers. Number 6 up the middle for Bowie. Daryl Nash, the linebacker, got his hand on it, and that's where the Volunteers are going to take over at the 35-yard line. And while they get ready to come out, we're going to step aside. We will be right back on the other side of this break. This is Zach on the Productions bringing you Bowie Volunteer Football.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
As we're back, 1st and 10, that ball is quick fired over to Maxwell Nichols, who drags a man for 15 yards, brought down at the 49-yard line of the Blue Hawks. 1st down. That was a quick fire from Mason to Max, and Max just carried his man 15 yards with him. Number 17, Nathan Curran, had no chance in the world to bring around Nichols. 1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. 2:50 left to go in the first quarter. The Volunteers trailed 3-0. Yadi Pagan said brotherly love. That's how you make sure one brother picks up the other. As Mason scrambles, he has a man in his face. He's trying to get out of the sack, and he's going to be brought down at the 39-yard line. It looked like he had a screen open on the right side. Tried to throw it back to his brother Max. Wasn't able to get to him, who was covered, rolled back out to the right and had a had a hawk right in front of him. Got hawked down by number 91. Not on the roster, though. But there's a 91 down there on the field. He's a 91 in your hearts. 2nd and 20 after the sack. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Volunteers offense need to get something going. Offensive line needs to gel here quickly. This is where you mature. When you're down like this and you're not getting anything going. 2nd and 20. Mason drops back. Fires over the middle. Caught and brought down immediately after the catch. Gain of 2. Caught by Caden Godot. He had Carson on the other side of the field. Wide open and ready to run. 3rd down and 17. 1:23 left to go. Clock's ticking. Trips left. Trying to get a man jump. The Blue Hawks are about to send pressure. They have 4 players standing up on the line in blitzing position as Mason checks over to the sideline. He's going to call a new play. Look out for the blitz here. Nobody's on the line as they're going to send 3 linebackers all standing up. That's going to be a screen over the Nichols. Nichols breaks off a man, and he's going to be brought down by a gang of Hawks at the 40, going nowhere. The Hawks had no down linemen on that play. Everybody was in a standing position. Nobody was able to get out for the screen. They knew the screen was coming. 4th down. And the Volunteers are going to have to punt this ball away again. 4th and 18. Clock's ticking. 38 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ball at the 43-yard line. Courtney Lawson, the highly touted freshman, the highly touted senior corner, is back to return this punt. As that ball's going to be kicked, end over end kick. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to hit down at the 36-yard line. It's going to take a nice volunteer roll to the 29, and that's where Rock Hill will take over for the last 12 seconds of the first quarter. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Bowie Volunteer Football, opening night of high school football here for the Volunteers. Opening night for us, so still getting some of the kinks out here, some kinks across town, as well as Pops is getting ready to call the Arlington Colts as they're looking to get back into the playoffs. They missed the playoffs last year. They're on their way to try to start a new season to take on Byron Nelson. That game should be kicking off here any moment. Over in Trophy Club, somewhere where I can't afford. 1st and 10, ball snap, quick throw, and that is dropped at the 36-yard line. Number 13 for Rock Hill, Adrian Henry, saw a ghost. A lot of drops by this Rock Hill offense. I apologize. That's number 12, Justin Sanders. Black uniforms, dark blue numbers as that ball is handed off. It's going to be an outside zone, and it's going to go nowhere, wrapped up after a gain of 3, and that's going to end the first quarter. The Volunteers trail 3-0. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for Rock Hill on the other side of this break. The Volunteers need to get something going on offense. We'll be right back to see if they can do it here with Zach Arnold Productions and Volunteer Football.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
As we're back here to start the second quarter, the Volunteers trailed 3-0 to Rock Hill. It is 3rd down and 6. The defense is back on the field. The defense has been a focal point of this team, trying to keep their team in it, but the offense is having a hard time getting anything going. As the defense has made their way back onto the field, 3rd and 6. Rock Hill has the ball at the 33-yard line. Both teams have had a hard time getting anything going on offense. Bowie has yet to manage a successful drive, except for the one that ended in multiple penalties. It ended with a pick. Rock Hill has had the benefit of good field position for one of their drives that ended in a field goal, and that's how we have a 3-0 score. 3rd and 6, 2 receivers left and right. Man in his face, that ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Knocked back, 4th down. Good defense there from the Volunteers, number 18. Jamal Williams, the linebacker, came flying in. It's going to bring up another punt for Rock Hill. Zayden Smith, the running back at his 32-yard line to receive this kick. As this ball is going to be a low kick, that is almost blocked again, but it's going to get up in the air, fielded at the 49 before taking a good bounce for Rock Hill. Rolls out of bounds at the 39-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Hopefully that wasn't roughing the kicker. It is back at the line of scrimmage. As Coach Sam comes out to check to see what the flag is. It looks like it might be running into the kicker. They're having a discussion with Coach Williamson, the head coach of Rock Hill, to see what he wants to do. Running into the kicker is a 5-yard penalty. I know in college now it is 15 for running and roughing. But I believe they're asking if it's a running into the kicker or a roughing the kicker here. I don't know if there's a difference in high school like there is in college, to where it's an automatic 1st down and 15. As we're waiting for the long conversation. And that is going to be a running into the kicker. So it is just a 5-yard penalty with the option to re-kick. It's going to be 4th down again. This time the ball's going to be 4th down and 1 at the 38-yard line. And we'll see if Rock Hill decides to bring the offense back out instead of re-punting. And they are. I see number 6, the quarterback for Rock Hill, coming back out. That's Austin Ferris leading the offense out. 4th and 1, ball at the 38-yard line. The defense needs to get a stop for the Volunteers. As Ferris claps his hands, looking to get somebody to jump off sides. Nobody jumps. Volunteers doing a good job of looking at the ball after that running into the punter. Ferris steps back, has the lead blocker right next to his running back. And it is going to be a QB keeper, and he is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Good job, Volunteers defense, not to fall for anything. That is a big play. The Volunteers are going to take over in great field position, number 98, Caden Williams. Big fella up the middle, and this defensive line is showing why they are dominant for the Volunteers. And you only get better as the season goes on. The defensive line is doing a great job. Now the Volunteers will take over. 1st down at the 38-yard line of Rock Hill. 38 yards to get 3 points is what you need to get out of this drive for Bowie. As the Volunteers are going to bring the offense back out there after that 4th down stop. Thanks to the running into the punter, they ended up gaining 30 yards on that. So now 1st and 10. Nichols hands the ball off. No, he's going to keep it. He's going to roll. He has a man in his face. He's got to fire it back out of play. Had a man in the area. They're going to say that the receiver was far away, and that's going to be an intentional grounding. Mad Max looked like he was in the area, but the coaches argued enough to get the intentional grounding. That's going to be a penalty on Mason Nichols. And that's not how you want to start a drive when you start the other team's territory.
Yeah, your defense gets a big emotional stop, and you get the ball on the plus side of the field, and the very first thing that you do is lose some yardage and lose a down. It'll be 2nd down back at the 44-yard line. 11:37 to go. 2nd quarter just getting underway. Hello again, everybody. I'm back. Pops and Mom and the rest of the team are finally up and running for the game between Arlington High and Byron Nelson. You know, we can do everything that we want to prepare, and every now and then technology just decides it doesn't want to cooperate with us.
Sometimes it takes a matter of gelling, especially at the first game. You always see new things as the offensive line is yet to gel. Even Nichols alone by himself, he's just a man on an island trying to get off as he throws that ball away under pressure. 3rd and 15. Yeah, Zach, you know, technology, some things that it's only so much you can do from across, I guess not even across town like we would be typically for a district game. We're across the Metroplex at this point.
We are.
So we're only able to help so much by phone and by no land, no sea, no air. It's all by phone.
Thank God for technology, though, so that we have the ability to do that. My parents are real troopers. They left work early to be able to go over there. They sacrifice their evenings to be able to make this happen. So I want to tell them thank you for their efforts, as Nichols's pass outside is too far wide and out of bounds, so Bowie will have to punt it away. My dad is a trooper, Jot, and he may not end up hearing this because he's in the middle of a broadcast right now, but I'm going to say it anyways. He's been with me since day one, from when it was just a tiny little mixer and a $300 laptop and a dream. And he has learned new technology. He has learned new ropes. He has learned how to lead because we have interns now. He is an absolute trooper, and I love him and I appreciate him. And this would not be happening. This dream of Zach Arnold Productions would not be happening without people like my dad being bought into what we do. So maybe I'll clip this and send it to him later. I know I come off as frustrated sometimes. I know I can come off a little short-tempered off the air. But I do really, really love and appreciate everything that he does for us here at the Zap Network. And if you all really appreciate him as well, please be kind to him over in the chat section in the other game. We'll be at halftime while their game is still going on, so maybe pop over there and just give them some love and encouragement, even if you're not a fan of Arlington High. Just show my parents and our interns over there that you are a fan of them and a fan of their work, because they're working as hard as we are over here in order to provide local high school coverage in ways that otherwise would not be possible. This is a pass that's wide to the near side there, as there's 11:07 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Jot, I feel like you need to take the reins for at least until halftime, because I've been so far out of it. All I can do is really comment on things as they're happening. I don't really know the groove or the momentum of the game just yet.
All I can do is just hope I'll take the reins and hope that the offensive line decides to take the reins with me. Together we're bond and get this thing going, as the Volunteers are looking to try to get off the field on defense. 2nd and 10, 11 minutes left to go in the first half. 3-0 still Rock Hill leads, as the Volunteers are going to press coverage. It's going to be a drop back pass. One man open by himself, one-on-one. He breaks the coverage, and he is going to be caught he's going to run himself out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Press coverage there by the Volunteers. It didn't matter. Number 1, Courtney Lawson, the guy we've been talking about, looking at a lot of FCS and FBS scholarships. D1. That is a D1 wide receiver there, folks. And he just made a big play to get Rock Hill in Volunteer territory. 1st down at the 29-yard line, as we're going to have a whistle down there on the field. Timeout called. Let's see if it's on the Volunteers or on the Blue Hawks. And while they are at a timeout, we will take a timeout as well. We'll step aside and be right back for the exciting part of this first half. Volunteers trailed 3-0.
As soon as you walk through these doors, you'll feel the warmth of our home and our team. It's not just a business to us, it's a calling. We're here to serve you and guide you through one of life's most difficult times, offering comfort, care, and compassion every step of the way.
As we are back here for the remaining 11 minutes to go in the first half, that was an official timeout to check and see where the spot was at the end of that play. They marked him down at the 39-yard line, Courtney Lawson. So it ended up being a big run by Lawson still after the catch on one-on-one coverage in which the Volunteers pressed, leaving Lawson, who is a good receiver, better corner, but a really good receiver, open by himself, no safeties back to help. And now the Volunteers defense has to bail themselves out of it again. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. As both teams are still down there discussing, trying to figure out what we can do if you're a Volunteer, trying to get out, get something happening. The defense has played spectacular. The only 3 points came off of a fumble on the punt by the Volunteers, in which the defense came out, held the Rock Hill to 3 and out, and getting 3 points off of a field goal. But now the defense has found themselves in a little bit of trouble. 1st and 10, ball at the 39-yard line. As a cluster formation sends a man in motion, that is going to be a screen underneath. The backside caught at the 41-yard line, and he's fighting to make a room. He's pushed out of bounds. 6 Volunteers in on that tackle. They made sure number 4, Leo Williams, caught that ball and felt it all the way for that gain of 4. 2nd down, ball at the 34-yard line, and Williams had 4 or 5 Volunteers on him. 10:26 left to go. Hopefully the Volunteers offense is coming up with a game plan of how to get this ball moving. As a man in motion, that's the tight end. Drop back on the pass. Ferris, he's going to get blindsided from the back end. That's going to be a sack. Good sack by the Volunteers. Number 9, Don Revis, the linebacker, came in like a horse out of a gate. I don't know what a good term is. Came in like a man on fire. Got a good backside sack. 3rd down. So all that run after the catch that Williams had just negated after the sack. 3rd and 11.
You know, Judd, here's the interesting thing. We've covered Bowie. This is our 3rd season covering Bowie full time now, and we're very used to high-flying offenses. I'm so excited to see a stalwart defense that is making big plays here to keep them in it.
As the defense is looking at it, 3rd and 11, that ball is thrown. Looks like it could be picked off underneath, but it's caught at the 31. Push back, but they're going to give him the 31 as the forward momentum. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 2. Like you said, Zach, we're used to a lot of high-scoring games. We've covered Bowie games that have gone into overtime, gone 49-42, gone 56-46. To see 3-0 with 9 minutes left to go in the first half is something we haven't seen much out of the Volunteers, but the defense has done a great job. They're trying to get off the field again here as a timeout is going to be called by Rock Hill.
If there was ever a time to talk about it, it would be now, probably just outside field goal range, but something that you need to do to see if you can get a little bit closer and maybe try to get a few more points out of this.
And while they talk about it down there, we'll talk about some stuff up here, and we'll let Modern West tell you about what they have going for them there across in Fort Worth.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Back to live action here at Prosper High School. The Arlington stream seems to be up and running. And we've got a solid 150 people tuning in on this broadcast, one of our highest viewed games this early in the season. Jot, we peaked at about 300 plus for the district championship game, starting out strong for these defending district champs tonight.
The defending district champs are trying to get off the field here. Fourth down, that ball is thrown. It is good defense by the Volunteers. We call that straps out in the ball yard. Number 17, Caden Gerdau with the swat. Turnover on down. And now the Volunteers offense need to get something going. If they want to be district champions, we had a chance to see them, like you said, late last year, district championship game versus South Grand Prairie. Me and Pops were on the call. We had 300 viewers at one time watching that game, watching the Volunteers offense get up and down the field versus the Warriors. This offense is not getting up down the field on anybody.
Not yet, but the season's still very young. This game is still very young. There's a lot of football left to play. And it's a good test for these young men to have a team that made it to the postseason last year be the very first team that you play this year. It was great scheduling by Coach Sam to give yourself a test on this RPO slant that goes for about 8. Solid pickup on first down there.
Solid pickup on first down. The real test needs to come to the offensive line when it comes at halftime. You got to question what they have, because the defense of Rock Hill has been able to stop this Volunteers offense from getting anything. They've had one really successful drive, and everything else has been led by turnovers or penalties, and they've had a hard time getting anything going. That's why it's 3-0 with 8 left to go in the second quarter. As the ball's going to be handed off. Good run up the middle by Smith, the running back. First down, Volunteers down at the 46 or so.
Yeah, Zayden Smith, one of the, I want to say 3 or 4 running backs that are trying to be competing for playing time. And he's able to move the chains for the Volunteers here. Might be running back by committee until Coach Sam settles on somebody, though.
Smith can get another carry. Good blocking, though, this time by the Volunteers. Smith works his way up through a hole, gets brought down at the 48-yard line. Gain of about 5 to 6 there by Smith. He's been the most consistent running back of the night. The offensive line hasn't been giving him much to work with, though, as Smith's going to go out, and Jones Jr. is going to come back in. Second down and 4. 7:42 left to go in the first half.
I really like the alternating shades of green. We got like a dark green, light green every 5 yards here at Prosper ISD. Reminds me of the Oregon Ducks a little bit.
As that ball's going to be handed off to Jones Jr. He fights his way up close to a first down, brought down about a yard short. The referee on our side says he's brought down at the 46. Yeah, the alternating shades of green. That means they're money. Zach, if you want, green's always the color of money. This needs to be a money drive for the Volunteers. This is where you earn your money here. Third down and short. This is 2-down territory for Bowie. As we have 2 receivers up top for Nichols. Smith still in the backfield next to Nichols.
Going with a heavy set. Only 2 receivers, period, and a couple of tight ends.
Heavy set. Weak run. Good pull by 77. That ball's going to be handed off to Smith, to Jones Jr. And the offensive line's not able to get anything. Good push by Rock Hill. Fourth down.
It was a good push, but like you said, there just weren't that many creases. It was technically correct. You saw the pulling guard, but I don't think he found his man after he pulled and wasn't able to create the hole he was looking for. And as a result, Bowie's got a 4th down and 2 in plus territory. The way the defense has been playing, I like the idea to go for it, because you need to give yourself some momentum with just over 6 minutes to go until halftime.
Yeah, that pulling guard there, number 77, Alexander Roach, sophomore, wasn't able to find his block. The end was already pushed back. 4th down and 2. Nichols drops back. He looks. He has another man open, and that is caught at the 20. It is going to be tracked down at the 2-yard line. First and goal, Volunteers.
Big play on 4th down, and it's A.J. Burdo making the catch, extending the play, extending the drive, and putting Bowie in business.
Burdow trying to take care of these birds here at Prosper ISD. I can't figure out if it's Blue Hawks, Blue Hens, but at the end of the day, we need to figure out how to get into the end zone before we figure out anything else. First and goal for the Volunteers at the 2-yard line, and we got a heavy set for Bowie. Single receiver up top, that is Mad Max, looking to go crazy if he can get one on the slant here. Single coverage on a receiver like that, Zach. That's money all day long. As Nichols has
one-on-one. I'm betting on Mad Max every time.
You have Mad Max up top as we're waiting for a player from Rock Hill to come in off the sideline. Heavy set for the Volunteers. That is number 4, Zayden Smith in the backfield next to Nichols behind 2, looks like leading fullbacks. One of them, number 42, Larry Shelton, the tight end. And that ball's going to be handed off to Smith. Smith is going to be short trying to break
they gave
the
it
plane.
to him.
And they gave him to him.
The line judge on the near side comes in, hands up, 5:06 to go. Bowie's on the board for the first time this season.
Good run there by Smith. Looked like he was going to be brought down short. He ran into a Rock Hill defender there. I thought they brought him down at the 1, but he kept those feet moving, and now the Volunteers have finally got something on the board. Pending this extra point, it is 6-3. While waiting for the extra point, Nichols is the holder on the kick. He's back at the 10. Young man with orange socks. I can't see his number from here. Ready to kick this ball. Snap to Nichols. The ball is up, and it is good. Extra point in. 7-3. Volunteers. 5:06 left to go in the first half.
Alex Montanez with the extra point, a freshman putting it through.
And the
Kick is wide, we were told.
Man, I can't see apparently.
He
from
put
here.
it, we're way up high. We are way up high here on the 4th floor at Prosper ISD. So no extra point, and Bowie leads by a field goal.
Well,
we'll keep it right here. No really good opportunity to take a break, and we still got 5 minutes and only a couple more bills to pay here in this first half. Jot, I am back, and I think I'm back to stay for this this remainder of the ball game. It looks like things have stabilized over at Northwest ISD between Byron Nelson and Arlington.
fans, we want to thank all the fans that are here watching with us. 166 currently are on the stream watching us here with the Volunteers. 6-3. Sorry, I thought the extra point was made. We're at a bad angle here. We're about the 35-yard line, 4th floor, far to the left. Can't see everything on the opposite side of the field, but that's why I got glasses. But I'm shooting through too much glass. It's hard to see. But we are looking pretty, though. 6-3, 5:06 left to go in the first half. The Volunteers defense has done a great job. The only 3 points that they've given up were off of an offensive turnover in their own territory at the 11-yard line to start the game. They end up holding Rock Hill to a field goal. Since then, the Blue Hawks have had a hard time getting anything going, much like the Volunteers on offense. So we'll see if the Volunteers can hold this lead going into halftime. Fans, make sure you like, subscribe to everything Zach Arnold has going on through the season. We have games tonight with the Volunteers and the Colts. Tomorrow we will have the Sam Houston Texans.
Now find the arrow button underneath.
As that ball is going to be kicked end over end kick, fielded at the 14-yard line. And that is going to be broken tackle there at the 20. Pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. We'll see where they spot him. There is a flag on the play back at the 14-yard line. Wait to see what the flag is there. Flag is going to be pointing in the direction of the Volunteers. I wonder if it's kick catch interference. Nope. Delay a game on Rock Hill. You don't see that very often on a kickoff. Well, it's going to be delay a game on Rock Hill. You don't see that very often. Sorry, I thought I was losing my hearing. It was the speakers inside this booth were going on and off.
We are kind of landlocked, John. I mentioned that the Channel 27 crew is directly to our left, and there's no landing out there past them. And then there's an NFHS crew that is to our right. So we don't really have much in the way of being able to get ambient sounds, and therefore we are just kind of reliant on what kind of stuff can get pumped into our room here. and provide our own colorful commentary when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, we are in the room. It's me, Zach the voice to my left, and the Golden Pipes of Yadi Pagan up a few steps right behind me. He was the one messing with the buttons like my daughter does at home when it comes to playing with the light switch.
Working with some golden nimble fingers tonight, keeping our score bug operational.
So after the delay of game on the kickoff, the Blue Hawks take over at the 9-yard line, 1st and 10, and they fire a quick pass over, caught and brought down at the 16-yard line. So they managed to get back to where they would have if it was a fair catch on the kickoff. 2nd down.
Well, a fair catch on the kickoff usually should bring it to the 25. Anything inside the 25 counts as a touchback now.
Yeah, he didn't call the fair catch. He took off running, but there was a delay of game on the returning team.
Interesting.
Which you don't see very often. So now 2nd down and 3, 4:30 left to go in the first half. The Volunteers defense trying to get off the field. That ball's going to be handed off up the middle. Running back's going to fight for something, and he's going to be brought down at the 17-ish yard line, 3rd and short.
Second effort, not enough. So now we'll see if a third effort on 3rd down, and we'll call it 2, is going to be enough.
The junior Michael Alfred, the running back, brought down, trying to get something going. The Volunteers' defensive line has been very, very impressive tonight. We don't get a chance to say that very often. We had a lot of players last season like Power Gofi at linebacker we called, but the D-line has been impressive, as that is a shot on the quarterback. It was a quick snap by Rock Hill, and the quarterback, Ferris, he took one to the chin. He got up quickly.
I think they were going for like a wide receiver tunnel screen, and some of the offensive linemen left a little bit early to go downhill, and it left him vulnerable. And now the punter is going to be sending it away from basically his own end zone line. Hopefully good field position again for the Volunteers. They have 2 timeouts left and just under 4 minutes to go until the break.
If you leave your quarterback alone like that, he'll have not just a tunnel screen, but tunnel vision for the rest of the night as that ball is kicked into the air. It's going to be hit down at the 45, takes a great bounce for Rock Hill. It's going to roll your boat gently to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Volunteers will take over on the other side of this break. We'll be right back with more Volunteer football after this.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
First down for the Vols. It's a handoff to the left-hand side. There's a bit of a crease as that runner picks up 4 to get up to about the 30-yard line. Unlike ESPN, we don't get to dictate how long the commercial breaks last. I went to a University of Texas game not too long ago, Jot, and they have a countdown ticker that looks like a first down marker. And they'll go out halfway onto the field to show how much time is left on the ESPN commercial breaks before you can return to action. We just return to action whenever they snap it, like they did here on the jet sweep, across the 30, across the 33, leaning forward maybe to the 34. No, they'll give them the 33 to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, it was interesting there on the jet sweep by Birdow. He didn't continue going outside. There was a one-on-one blocking on the outside if he could have tried to got to the corner, but he cut back in, no hole there in the middle of the line, because on a jet sweep, everybody's moving to the right. Birdow ended up managed to make something out of nothing, but it's 3rd and 3. As the fans here are making some noise.
Pretty good student section here for Rock Hill on this Thursday night. It is a school night, but they don't seem to care as Nichols rolls to his right. Quick throw. It's picked off at the 35. Rock Hill's going the other way. Inside the 10, trying to lateral it, and he will wisely stay away from that. But that interception on the down low dump off will give first and goal position to the Blue Hawks as the defense quickly has to come back out onto the field. Celebration ensues on the near sideline with that student section as Bowie turns it over again.
Yeah, Nichols, he rolled out to the right. That's one of the plays that they've gone to, those sprint outs that have worked for him tonight. One of the few things that have worked for him tonight. And Rock Hill's ready for it. He underthrew it. He had a man in between him and the receiver Bird out there on the sprint out. And that just, you got to throw that ball out of bounds. You see the defender in front of you. You got to either keep running and try to make the defender run up, or you got to get rid of it, throw it out of bounds, and live for fourth down. Now the Volunteers, this is the second time they have starting a defensive possession. I guess the Rock Hill has started their possession inside the Volunteers' territory. The first time this was to start the game after the punt, the bad punt, and they ended up getting held to a field goal. So the Volunteers need to get something out of this. Now, you can't hold Rock Hill you got to hold Rock Hill to nothing. My brain will work. The defense will work. We'll get this out of it.
This is a lateral technically, but the Bowie defense is swarming. That is a loss all the way back to the 12. They sniffed that play out from the jump.
Yeah, good job there. They saw that toss coming. Everybody on that far side made sure that nothing was open to get cut back as we're getting ready to get into the 2-minute warning here. There's a 2-minute warning in high school. Is that right, Zach?
There's supposed to be, and it looks like they are going to issue that. It is the 2-minute timeout. Exactly 2 minutes until halftime. Bowie trying to get a stop late in the first half. We'll see if they can do it when we come back with more high school football on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Two minutes until the break here at Children's Health Stadium in Prosper. The moon is out, the sun has set, and the defenses are on fire. A couple of stops by the Bowie defense holding Rock Hill to 3. They finally got on the board after a big catch by Birdow put them in plus position. But now Nichols' second INT of the evening is forcing a pressure situation in their own red zone. That big stop for a loss back to the 11 was a good momentum starter for this possession job, but now they have to finish the job for 2 more downs.
They have to finish the job. They've done a good job at finishing the job Bowie has on defense. They've held Rock Hill to a field goal. That was the opening drive for Rock Hill, which they got the ball off of a botch punt. The defense has maintained everything. Like you said, we're used to seeing Bowie having 40 to 35 shootouts. To see it at 6-3, get ready to go to halftime with a chance for Rock Hill to score, this is something we're not used to. But the defense has stood out. The thing with opening games is a lot of times the defense doesn't have much to worry about. It's read and react. You get out there, you read, react, and you get ready just to hit somebody and make sure you don't give up big plays. Offense is still working through trying to get the momentum in jail, and that's what both teams are trying to get through here to start opening weekend.
2nd and goal now from the 11, back to pass, right side, one-on-one coverage, no flag. Great coverage there by the Bowie defense. Looks like number 17 in coverage, Caden Guridow, in to force a 3rd and goal from outside the 10.
Yeah, looking at one more stop here. The defense has done a great job. You got to be careful. Lawson up top, he is a good receiver. He's looking to go D1, either FBS, FCS. He's had a lot of offers. So if you're Guridow at the top, you need to make sure you keep him from getting a one-on-one type of catch, fade, or a slant, and make this offense go to the other side.
3rd down, pass play to the middle. More white jerseys than black jerseys, and it will fall harmlessly to the turf. The Bowie defense forces 4th down.
Jaquan Ford, number 94 on the backside for the Volunteers. He came in like a house on fire.
Like a wrecking ball?
Like a wrecking ball.
He came in like a wrecking ball?
It's early. I can't get these snazzy ones yet. But he blew past the right tackle there and made it hard for the quarterback from Rock Hill to get any type of clean pocket. He had a man open on the slants, kind of, but it would have been a tight throw. So good job there by number 94.
Liam Spencer on for the field goal attempt, and it is true, and we are tied up with 1:47 to go until halftime. That extra point looming large now for Bowie, as it could be 7-6. Instead, we are tied.
Fans across town, don't forget the Colts are taking on Byron Nelson to open their season. That is over in Trophy Club the Trophy Club-esque area. I've never been over there before, but I know it's over there somewhere.
Northwest ISD, so it's in Justin, I believe.
And the Colts are trailing 7-0 here. Their game had a late start. It is the second quarter. So make sure you tune into there. Make sure you also like and subscribe to all of Zach the Voice's socials as we continue out through the season. This is opening weekend for us. Tomorrow, we will also have another game for you on the Zap Network. It'll be the opening game for the Sam Houston Texans, opening with a new head coach taking on North Mesquite.
Bobby Watkins taking the helm after coming over from Mesquite ISD. Now gets to run his own program after the retirement of Chris James, longtime coach in Arlington ISD.
Chris James was at Arlington High as a coach when I was a student. He ran track with my uncle, so we wish Chris James well in retirement.
Does that date you a little bit? I think it does.
I don't know if it dates me or my uncle, but either way, somebody's going to feel old today.
It won't be me.
It won't be me.
I just turned 33 last week, and I feel like it should be 23 just with back problems.
Happy birthday there, young man. As I see another young man I want to shout out, my cousin Isaac. He is on the Bowie sideline. He's a senior photographer for the Volunteers. This is his first game on the sideline for the Volunteers. So shout out yet young man as he's going to graduate high school this year. As that kick is up in the air, caught at the 39.
It's a little bit of gamesmanship there because you have to make sure your special teams unit is taking care of business. But Bowie has 2 timeouts and 1:46 to work with, so we'll see what they're capable of as we get ready to head into halftime. Fans, a reminder that we'll have a special conversation with Coach Sam, the Sports Spotlight, from our friends at the Sports Spotlight with Cameron Wilcox, another member of the Zap crew that he's got a son playing varsity for another school that we don't cover. So he was helping us out with behind-the-scenes stuff this season, like those halftime interviews that are going to be coming throughout the year. Play action going underneath, and it's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Rock Hill almost coming up with the ball again. I understand the desire to go underneath like that, Jot, to do those quick throws, but unfortunately Rock Hill is anticipating those now and kind of jumping the routes a little bit.
What it does, though, if you're Nichols, you've already hit one deep ball. That was the bird down on the drive that they got the touchdown a few minutes ago. Eventually, Rock Hill is going to play too far up that somebody's going to get behind the defense. We've seen it once. Nichols needs to be prepared for that person to be behind the defense. Carson's been down there once, but Nichols will find that receiver and will break one.
Rolling, throwing off of his opposite side, and another interception. He overthrew one target, underthrew another, and it is pick number 3 for the Bowie offense that is basically just shooting themselves in the foot right now, Jot. If they can get any kind of forward momentum, we saw what they're capable of with that big play by Birdow, but right now their offensive plays are self-stalling.
You can't have your offense based around sprint outs. It makes it harder for your quarterback. When you have a right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left, he's got to throw at an awkward angle trying to get it to the corner, and he ended up, like you said, overthrowing one receiver, underthrowing another, and he had a shorter receiver back about 4 or 5 yards in the flat who was going out of bounds. It makes it hard for your quarterback right-handed to roll left on a
He was going against his body. Yeah, he absolutely was, and that's dangerous for anybody.
But the big play that he had earlier to Birdow, if he has time in the pocket and he has Birdow getting behind the safety, those are there, and that's what you'll develop as the game goes further. But we got to get through that. We got to get through that first half and try to get something here. As the first play on first down, that is a sack. Big sack by the Volunteers, real quick, by number 18 for Bowie.
Jamal Williams getting the sack.
I believe that's his second sack.
Big time play for the Volunteers, and it will force a timeout.
The Volunteers should have 4 sacks on the game. I do know they have 2 up the middle. Williams had his first one earlier in this game. That is his second.
That's the Volunteers taking the timeout, seeing if they can get the ball back one last time with 1:28 to go until the half. 6th year at the program for head coach Joseph Sam. He's gone back-to-back district championships, but with this new district of 3-6A, he's going to have his work cut out for him, Jot, as Alito joins the 6A ranks for the very first time in program history. A 5A state power joining the district, and they get to host the Volunteers in a little over a month's time.
And we will be making that drive out to Aledo. I know once. I don't believe the Colts go to Aledo this season.
They host, but they do have to go to Granbury.
So we will be doing some extra traveling with the Volunteers, bringing our support and bringing the cameras so that you at home can watch as well. Your Volunteers take on good teams like Aledo, like they're in a dogfight now versus Rock Hill to start the season. They have South Grand Prairie and Haltom as their other non-district games, teams they've played before, especially last season in district play. So they have a tough road to hoe, but the Volunteers can try to get back to the playoffs.
This is a run play, and Bowie sniffed that out pretty quick, maybe a yard on the play. But they're forcing the Volunteers to take their third and final timeout with 1:22 to go. It'll be third and forever, but Bowie's now out of timeouts. If they do another running play, that'll probably run another 30 to 40 seconds off of the clock before Rock Hill has to take a timeout with 50 seconds left. If they punt it away, that'll maybe be 45 to 40 seconds left. So not looking at a whole lot of time for the Bowie offense, but they should get one last possession before they go to the locker room.
One last possession, but with that possession, you have to make the most of it. When you get to halftime, the conversation you need to have first with the offensive line, we need to get push from you. We can't run the ball. Without running the ball, we can't set up the pass. It's making it harder for Nichols in the backfield as a quarterback. You can't to do all these sprint out passes. Your offensive line has to be there to block, but also Nichols on the sprint out has to know if the short's not there and you don't have the corner, just get rid of it or take off running. He is a bigger quarterback, right? If you're the Volunteers offense, the defense has done spectacular, but they can't lose their head saying, well, we're the reason you're in this game. You just need to come out in the second half as the defense with your head still there, saying, okay, we kept us in this game. Offense needs to pick it up, but we're going to keep us in this game at the other side of halftime.
Rock Hill coming out from the near sidelines with the ball resting at their own 42-yard line. Line to gain is the other 42 on the other side of the field. Officially third down and 16. 3 receivers set here for the Hawks. And they're going to do a stretch run play. Back maybe to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short. It'll be fourth down and about 11. So now the strategy comes into play, Jot, is there's about 1:10 as of this sentence being spoken. So they will probably call their third and final timeout, try to punt it away, pin Bowie deep. And if you're the Volunteers, you're going to be at least inside your 30, barring some sort of unfortunate circumstance. Do you just do a run play yourself, see what happens, and then head to the locker room? Or are you trying to take one more shot to see if you can give some momentum to your offense and to your quarterback?
I think you take the ball into halftime. You do have a new OC this season if you're Bowie. You have a lot of new offensive coaches, so they need to have that moment together with their team to discuss what they see. A lot of the coaches that offensive coordinators, they sit up here in the booth. They're probably either below us or far on the other side from us. You just take the ball into halftime, and they get down there to have this conversation. That Rock Hill gets the ball first to start the second half. The defense has done a great job containing and keeping them to 6. 2 field goals both times. They held them from getting the ball already in the red zone. So the offense needs to just get down there and have the conversation. Don't worry about trying to throw a deep ball to give Nichols his 4th pick of the half.
Timeout is taken. Neither team with any timeouts. 30.8 seconds to go until halftime. The game between Byron Nelson and Arlington is still going on over in Justin, Texas. Looks like the Bobcats are holding a 7-0 lead against Arlington High right now. So kind of low scoring for both teams that we cover. Only 7 for the Colts and 6 for the Volunteers.
And that's usually unusual for us because we see a lot of high-scoring games. But it is week 1. Week 1 for defense is much easier than it is for offense because you're kind of reading, reacting.
Yep.
You're just ready to hit somebody. Offense, you have a lot of things you still try to work through in jail. And like for both teams, they do both have new coordinators on Arlington and for Bowie. So you're trying to get these players and coaches kind of together to figure out what we can do, what works, what doesn't work.
The block is thwarted, and Smith is going to let it roll inside the 30, inside the 20. And the Blue Hawk special teams unit will down it at the 15 with 18.5 to go. We have paid all of our bills, so we don't have anything else to really say to folks except that the halftime show is presented by our newest friends at Wade Family Funeral Home, and we will have a Sports Spotlight with Coach Sam talking about this 2026 team, and we will have some thoughts and stats from around the area. There's another big game being played on the other side of the Metroplex with Jenks playing South Lake Carroll at the Cotton Bowl. And then there's other big games happening this weekend with Aledo taking on North Crowley. There's just a lot of really good stuff happening in week 1 for high school sports. Week 0 for college. Are you going to be watching that TCU North Carolina game when it starts coming around, Jot?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. For me as a Wolverine, we don't watch our team until next week when they open the season. So they're looking for an easy win. Michigan will be against Western Michigan. I'll be looking forward to that next weekend. But this weekend we got good college. Tonight Texas Wesleyan opens their season against Central Oklahoma.
How about that?
Here in Fort Worth, Texas Wesleyan will be moving up to D2 next season in football. So they open their final season in NAIA.
This is going to be a handoff to Smith. He'll spin in and out of a couple of defenders, pick up 8, and it seems like everybody is content to let that be the final play if it wasn't for a flag that came down somewhere. I don't see where the flag took place or where it came from. 12 men on the field was what was called, and that will result in a Bowie first down, 13 seconds to go. I guess it was an illegal substitution against Rock Hill. Bowie with one more opportunity with the stoppage there, and there's going to be 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Only 3 people down and 8 people back, at least a minimum of 10, anywhere from 10 to 20 yards here defensively. And it'll just be a handoff to the left side, a little bit of downhill blocking, and the running back looks like he got out of bounds with 7.7. Was it a sideways run or was it forward run? A little bit more whistling and jawing going on as a couple of squads that are eager to finally hit somebody that's not a teammate, probably getting a little extracurricular here at the end of the first half. An unsportsmanlike will be a 15-yard penalty, and with 7.7, Bowie has it at midfield. They may be interested in trying something a little bit more, but you know what? Just give yourself some more momentum, I say, and then head to the locker room. Another handoff to the left-hand side, spinning out of a tackle across the 40 to the 36 with 1.1, but I don't think he got out of bounds. I think he went down in bounds. They're going to try to clock it, but with 1.1, there's not going to be enough time.
Yeah, it looked like he got close to being out of bounds. He had a chance to get it. Smith did if he kept on staying on his feet, but it was still a good run out of him to end the first half.
That is halftime here at Children's Health Stadium. An unexpected first 24 minutes of play as Bowie got a big play to put them in scoring position, but missed the extra point. And that missed extra point now proving critical as Rock Hill has kicked 2 field goals in the red zone to make it a 6-6 tie here at the break. We'll take a break along with the teams, and then we'll also have our Sports Spotlight with Coach Sam, as well as the halftime show presented by Wade Funeral Home. All that and more still to come on the Zap Network. Thanks so much for tuning in. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
This is the Sports Spotlight with Coach Joe Sam. Coach, thank you so much for having us back for another season. We're excited for what 2026 has to offer.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming out, and I think you guys do a really good job of highlighting our program, so I always appreciate y'all coming out and doing that.
We got to cover back-to-back district titles when y'all were in 8-6A, but you've got a new district now. How are you feeling about this new district this season?
I think it's super competitive. It's always great when, you have one of the state powers, enter your district. Obviously, it's from a 5A perspective, but to me, a state power is a state power. And you got to respect those guys. And, they're, like I tell everybody, the guns are pointed at us, but I like what Kurt Signetti said best. Sometimes the best way to not be hunted is bring a bigger gun.
That's true.
And, playing those guys, and you're going to stack up against some of the best in the state. But to compare it, when we talk about the district, in my eyes, when you look at how the district broke down, they essentially took the spot of SGP when you say, all right, who has a chance to make the playoffs? Alito's going to be one of those 4 teams. Let's be completely honest about that. I don't want to sit here and lie about it, but we have a really good chance as Arlington ISD to get 3 teams in, and that's exciting to know. But you also have Weatherford and Granbury. To me, they're very, very comparative to Haltom, to where they're talented enough to beat you if you don't show up, be sound, and do the things you need to do.
There was a lot of debate about the way that the district alignments shook up. Do you feel like the zoning was properly distributed for our district with those teams that are that far out?
I mean, personally, probably not. But, I'm not also in the room to where there's a why behind they made the decisions. I don't know. All we can do is people outside of the room is speculate. And my deal is I'd rather not live in a speculation world because it's not like they're going to change it based off of me saying that they should have did this or they should have did that. All we can do is just say spot the ball and let's play.
Right. And you're going to be spotting the ball in places like Weatherford and Granbury, which that's a bit of a hike. How does travel to a place like that affect game day prep and keeping your guys engaged and prepared for the game ahead?
It has something to do with it, but that's also the reason why we scheduled the schedule that we have. Us driving to Prosper week 1, we're going to get on a bus and head that way. Well, I wanted to do a game like that early so our kids can get used to getting on the bus, making the drive. So when we do go to Alito, we do go to Weatherford, at least our kids have had that chance to be on a bus ride for a while, get off, stretch your legs out, do those types of things. And that's also why in the past I've had games where we kind of had to travel a little bit. Traveling to Coppell isn't easy. Right. Traveling to Keller wasn't easy.
Right.
And the reason why we had those kind of games is, if playing 16 weeks is the goal, your kids got to get used to being on a bus for a while, getting off, focusing in, and getting ready to rock and roll.
There's a lot of new this year. We talked about the new district, but there's some new coaches on staff too. Some that have moved on, some that have been added on. There's new coaches, like head coaches in the district as well. What do you do here at Bowie to try to keep things consistent with all of the new that you've got going on?
Well, new is good and bad. Willie Carter had a chance to become a head coach. Jonathan Cruz had a chance to become a head coach. And one thing you want to do as a head coach is help groom guys to their next role. And so, I was actually talking to Coach Carter the other day, and we sat down and talked for 2 hours just about some of the things to get him logistically ready and set up. And so, not only is he a personal friend, but now we're colleagues when it comes to head coaches. And he kind of was like, I understand why you did some of the things you did now. And so, having those conversations allows you to be able to, you're still mentoring them, but I can also learn from them as well because obviously we're in the same seat together. But our process stays the same. We promoted from within when it came to the offensive coordinator spot. And Joseph Williams, who's a longtime assistant, he started underneath Kenny Perry, was here with Danny DeArmond, and, obviously stayed here with me. He was my associate head coach. And when he came in and interviewed, it was almost a no-brainer of he knows the system. He knows what he can do to probably improve the system, and then he put his own spin on the system. And so the biggest change with the kids, honestly, has just been the terminology tweaks that he's made. But the essence of the offense really hasn't changed. So because I think our offense does fit our kids, and I think the numbers the past couple of years have backed that up. And so, and being able to hire two guys with very different ends of the spectrum from a coaching perspective, but fit what we do. And Bobby Parsons, who was the offensive coordinator at Irving High, which most people are like, he's the offensive coordinator at Irving High, but a lot of people don't know he was the run game coordinator and O-line coach at Euless Trinity in Duncanville prior to that. Wow. So he has the experience of, not only dealing with our demographic, but also playing in those big-time games and coaching those big-time games. Right. And then in our tight end coach, Dante Cheney, it's his first year coaching, but he's a former collegiate athlete and he's a former player of mine. So he understands the process from a player's perspective. He's done he's been through the boot camp. He's been through the off season. He's felt some of the way some of our kids feel. So he's somebody that the kids can lean on of, there's a purpose behind what we're doing. So he's kind of that extra mouthpiece that you can have in the field house when you're not there.
That's really cool. That's got to be a comfort to know that you've got people like that you can lean on and delegate things to, and be able to use very unique approaches. Someone that's a coordinator at a very prestigious high school, and then somebody that's a former player on the same staff.
Yes, sir.
Being able to craft and balance that has to be a really good feeling.
Yeah, it is, because they know how you think. Like Bobby Parsons, we knew each other and we've talked football. Just, hey, what would you do to this? Just kind of chalk wars type stuff. And so just knowing his football mind, and then, like I said, Dante Cheney, knowing him as a player and seeing his work ethic, seeing him grow, and seeing him develop into a college football player. I know these guys that not only have the talent when it comes to a coaching perspective, but they also have the work ethic to match.
This is year number 6 at the helm of Bowie.
This is year number 6.
What has been one of your favorite things about coaching at Bowie High School?
Just seeing the program grow. That's been the biggest deal, is seeing the program grow and the community buy-in just happen year after year after year. When I first got here, 21 kids. Craziest thing, obviously, was COVID during that time as well. So that between COVID and the timing of the hire, because there was like a 3-month window of no head coach. So, but seeing the fruits of the labor from year one, and us as a staff growing and all those different deals, just kind of seeing the fruits of that labor of, doing things that have never been done at this school before. Seeing the community get behind us and, cheer us on, having, a fully functional booster club. I know that sounds like a crazy thing, but there was no booster club when I got here. And seeing it literally go from nothing to now it's fully functional to where they're doing stuff for us and all these special things to where our kids are truly getting the full high school experience is a great thing.
Would you say that is like one of the bigger culture changes, or has there been other things about the culture at Bowie that you have been excited to see over the years? The
thing I've liked about the culture at Bowie is that we've kept the core of the culture, but I've been able to put my own spin to it. The culture that started with Anthony Chris and Kenny Perry, the nuts and bolts of that culture is still intact. All I did was, when I took this job, call those two guys, got the lay of the land, and then it's like, okay, I see what it's about. Now let me take that and put my own spin to it. And that's really all I've done, and I've tried to elevate it, and there's times where I've called both of those guys and asked for advice, and they've both been a listening ear of giving me advice and giving me that wisdom that sometimes you need to go searching for.
Last question. Is there anything that you would like to say to the Bowie faithful specifically about this 2026 program?
It's going to be exciting. With the team that we have coming up, it's a great blend of youth and experience. Like offensively, we returned 4 to 5 O-linemen led by Johnny Campos and Willie Gay. Our trigger man, Ye wasn't a starter, but he played a lot last year, Mason Nichols. his twin brother was our best receiver in MAC. We returned 2 of the 3 starting receivers, and Darian Carson actually started the second half of the season when, A.J. Berto went down. And then at the tight end position, we have Deontay Tennyson, who started a couple games when Brody was hurt early. And then we have, a physical freak in Larry Shelton, where he's 6'4", 225. Once it clicks for him, the sky becomes the limit. Running backs, we have 3 running backs we really, really like. And going into fall camp, it's exciting to see who's going to be the guy because they all are different. Defensively, what was our weakness last year in our D-line is starting to become a strength because we played a bunch of young guys. Now, obviously, you don't have the wow factor at linebacker, but we actually have more depth at linebacker this year to where we have collegiate players. They're just not the P4 type football players. In the secondary, in our 3 levels of the defense, starts with Caleb Pfeiffer at safety, who's an all-district player, been offered by a bunch of Division I schools. TCU called me yesterday about him. And, we have him and Colin Coven. Now we have to figure out the other 2 spots, but to me, it's okay. It's not like we don't have the people. At linebacker, I really, really like our linebacker core with Daryl Nash and Don Rivas. And then up front, we have A.J. Adenahu, who was a sophomore last year, playing a lot on the D-line. And we have Caden Williams, who was a nose guard that was a sophomore playing on the D-line. Wow. So, those guys played, 11 games underneath their belts, and they still have 2 more years of varsity football to play. So, and also Jalen D, heck, I forgot about him. He's another one that played, all 11 games as a junior. Now he's coming back for a full year. So 3 of the 4 guys that we're going to have up front, they've got a full varsity season underneath their belt. So it's exciting to see it.
A lot of exciting things to look forward to for Bowie football. This has been the Sports Spotlight with Coach Sam. Coach, thanks so much for your time. More amazing discussions and Bowie coverage still to come, so be sure to follow so you don't miss any of it.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Unfortunately, due to the stadium constraints, we don't currently have access to the sound out there on the field. But while we are continuing with the halftime festivities, we encourage you to take a look at what's going on down on the field below. And we'll be back in a few minutes with the halftime show presented by our friends at Wade Family Funeral Home. It's time for the halftime discussion presented by Wade Family Funeral Home. They are honored to shepherd families through life's most difficult time and have been for decades. They understand saying goodbye is never easy and provide guidance and care while helping families create meaningful tributes to honor the lives of the ones they love. When you need them, Wade Family Funeral Home and Crematory is just a phone call away at 817-274-9233. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this Week 1 game up in Prosper ISD. Jot, what are your thoughts on this first half of a very defensive battle?
You know, at first I realized I was kind of critical of the offense, but then you have to remember it is the opening game, so we have a new head coach, a new offense coordinator, a lot of new moving pieces on the offense. You kind of forget that this isn't the offense from last year that will put up. They averaged almost 38 points a game last year. Bowie did on the way to the district championship. You forget that when you have new coaches coming in and you have a new quarterback. And sometimes as a commentator and a former player, you have to understand, okay, there are things that you need to fix and things that work. The offensive line needs to be the first in the jail. It's the second half of a big game, and you still have bigger games coming up, bigger than this. The offensive line needs to gel, figure out how can we get more push. The defense has been spectacular. I know for Week 1, defense always is basically read and react, get ready to hit somebody because we're playing somebody new. Offense, you still have to go through so many things to put together. And the defense is stuck out for me, while the offensive line, there are a few things they need to work together around it. And this is as a former lineman, I understand I try not to be critical of the fellow big guys, but as a big guy, everything starts around you. Right. The defensive line for Bowie, it's been spectacular. The offensive line, you got to build it up. Going through a few stats here, Mad Max has 5 catches for 35 yards. His counterpart on the other side, Lawson, has 2 catches for 43 yards. He had that big catch on the one-on-one earlier in the game. But besides that, Lawson's been kind of shut down. Max has gotten a few more possessions in his way, but it's hard to get him the ball. Mason Nichols, 13 for 22, 134, 3 sacks. You can't have those 3 sacks. 3 sacks and 3 interceptions, so that makes things hard on the rest of your team. And Zay Smith, kind of been the outlier of the stats. 6 carries, 35 yards. When he gets the blocking and when he gets the hole, he's making do with something. He's averaging almost 60 yards a carry at that point. So it's working out for the Volunteers in certain ways. Birdow, 4 catches, 86 yards. Those are all things to be impressed by in the first half of the first game. Add all that up, you got 126 total yards for the Volunteers. 9 first downs for Bowie compared to 1 by Rock Hill. 1 first down all the first half. So defense played spectacular. But in the team stat, when you look at it, -8 rushing yards for Bowie. You throw those sacks in there that Nichols has been sacked 3 times for -29 yards. That stuff's hard to build around. So that takes offensive line gelling. That takes trying to get a better run game to take some pressure off your quarterback, and then trying to work around some of those rollout passes. On the other side, though, like we were saying, defense has been very impressive. 1 first down given up all game. 49 total yards. They have 4 sacks of the quarterback Ferris, who's 6 for 18, and Lawson only has 2 catches out there. He's one of the guys that we're expecting in this matchup between quarterbacks. So I think if you take that defense going into the second half, if the offense can find something to get another big play like they did with Birdow, they can get ahead on this game, get a lead. The defense can clamp down on you quickly, and I think that's what impressed me most in this game. Looking around some other scores around the area, Garland Lakeview Centennial 31-0 over Grand Prairie, former district rival. Jinx and South Lake Carroll over at the Cotton Bowl. Big game to look for, 27-14, and this is the first game for South Lake Carroll under a coach not named Dodge in a long time. As Riley Dodge is gone.
Yep.
And as you know, Todd Dodge has already moved on to other places. So first game under a coach not named Dodge, 27-14. Jinx leads over South Lake Carroll. And on the other side of the Zap Network, Byron Nelson leads 7-0 at halftime over our Arlington Colts. Game to look forward to tomorrow. The team that Bowie will take on next week, South Grand Prairie, they play tomorrow, and they play Timber Creek, Keller Timber Creek, tomorrow evening. Zach, while South Grand Prairie plays Timber Creek tomorrow, we will be over at Choctaw Stadium watching the Sam Houston Texans as they open their season versus North Mesquite in a battle of 2 teams trying to get into playoff positioning. 2 teams trying to build to work towards playoff positioning.
I would say trying to build. Coach Watkins is in his first season at Sam Houston, and he's just trying to build his own culture, build his own program. Other teams in Arlington ISD include the Martin Warriors going to Mansfield to play the Tigers, and Little Elm is going to come to town to play Arlington Lamar over at UTA's Mavericks Stadium. The Seguin Cougars will play the Terrell Tigers at some point during the week, tomorrow night, I believe, and there will be some hard-hitting action over at Glassby Field as well. So the district is well represented, and our scores from around the area are also well presented, as they are represented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing. Call Caleb Renfro if you need a cast iron replacement specialist at 817-807-7069. Pipe and Peak Plumbing, serving the Arlington area for over 16 years. We'll be back in 30 seconds after we hear from another one of our halftime presenters.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of 97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
Our friends at Trinity Dumpsters back again after helping us out last season. Excited to have them and excited to have you along for this Week 1 football game. As we get ready for the second half, we see the teams warming up on the sidelines over in the north end zone. Bowie did not bring their inflatable with them, but they do have the cheer squad ready to help them run out for the beginning of the second half of action. If you all stepped away for a little bit for the break, be sure to hit that share button and remind your group chat to start circling your way back around as we are getting ready for the final 24 minutes of this game here in Prosper ISD. Want to give another shout out to the crew over in Northwest ISD, Arlington and Byron Nelson, my pops Doug, my mom Patsy, our intern Alex running the scoreboard over there, another intern John Ethan Wilson running the camera. Our cameraman is another intern, Merrick McDonald. And he's not an intern, but he is a friend helping us out in a pinch. Yadi Pagan, usually behind a microphone, behind a keyboard tonight, helping us make sure that we bring you as high quality of a game as we know how to do here on the Zap Network.
Just let Yadi Pagan know that he does not get this for school credit. He will have to go back to work on Monday.
And he laughs and silently cusses you out over that.
As Yadi Pagan will be the new voice of the Sam Houston Texans tomorrow at Choctaw Stadium. So he'll be there with us in the vicinity, just a floor above and to the right. But he'll be there tomorrow as the Texans take on North Mesquite on the other side of the Zap Network. So it's 3 games for us this weekend, Zach.
3 games in 2 days.
Sounds like a lot of exciting work. Love it. So I can't have football without it.
I wouldn't want to. We're excited to be bringing you all of that action, and then every district game that'll take place in 3-6A for either of these 2 schools. And then if Arlington and or Bowie makes it to the postseason, we'll be following along there as well. It'll just look and sound slightly different because we are not permitted to do video casts during the playoffs, but we still try to bring you as close to the action as possible and present visual imagery and all that. But for tonight's purposes, you get to see the Bowie Volunteers kicking it off from the south end zone, sending it north. And that vaunted defense that created a bunch of stops and only allowed 1 first down will take the field for the Volunteers here to start the second half, Jot.
As our friend Merrick brought us a shot of the moon, let you guys know the moon is right in front of us. It was a nice golden moon earlier. Now it's high and above, and hopefully the moon brings out more exciting football in the second half. Defense is the name of the game for the first half. We'll see what we can get here as we get ready for this opening kickoff of the second half, Zach.
Hopefully it's not a bad moon rising for those of you that are Credence fans. Deep kick that's going to go inside the 10 and get fielded at about the 9, trying to cut near side. Got a crease, got a corner to the 30, 35, 40. Spins out of a tackle to the 45, and it'll be great starting field position for Prosper Rock Hill as that return goes all the way to about the 47-yard line. That is number 1 on the return. Courtney Lawson Jr., the wide receiver / defensive back, putting Rock Hill in great field position.
Yeah, that's one of the players we've been highlighting all day, that you want to make sure you keep him contained. If you're a Bowie, he's done a solid job on defense going against Maxwell Nichols, who has 5 catches. But on offense, he had a big catch earlier on a one-on-one coverage play. But he's only been held to 2 catches for 43 yards in the first half.
Fans, as we get the third quarter underway, we want to remind you that the third quarter is presented by Taqueria Taco Express, as this is an express pass down to midfield for a gain of 3 or 4 up to midfield. Visit Taqueria Taco Express on Taco Tuesday to experience their Taco Tuesday special. 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $9.99. You can earn points by downloading the app, and you can visit taqueriatacoexpress.com the next time you need to find a location that can help you solve your Mexican food cravings.
As that first down pass was completed to Lawson, 3rd catch of the game for him.
Shotgun, pass play to the left side, and in stride inside the 30. And the Blue Hawks making some halftime adjustments as that one goes into the arms of Leo Williams. And 2 plays, they are deep in Bowie territory.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before halftime, Zach, is that you don't want to get too comfortable if you're the defense, because you've kept yourself in this game. Now you're already looking at 2 big plays and a big kickoff return to put yourself at 30 yards to try to keep away from the Rock Hill from scoring.
There's going to be a handoff to the left-hand side, finding a crease and lunging forward for a couple of extra yards. I believe that's number 5 on the carry. Michael Alfred, junior running back for the Blue Hawks. It's a 3-receiver set with 2 running backs in the backfield. Handoff to the middle again. Very near first down yardage. The second effort might have gotten him there as he gets into the red zone. That's another carry by Alfred, and it is first down, Rock Hill.
And Rock Hills came out of halftime explosive. Big kickoff return by Lawson. Back-to-back catches, and now they're looking at the 1st and 10 in the red zone. The Volunteers defense has done a good job, though, holding them to 2 field goals in the red zone. See if they can do it here again to start the half.
Caden Williams had to come off because he lost his headgear, as this one is going to the near side to the end zone. Did he step out? No. Touchdown, Rock Hill. That is number 4, Leo Williams, shaking away from a couple of Bowie defenders. And the second half adjustments going in Rock Hill's favor, as it looks like they're going to go for 2 on this opening drive of the second half. No, here comes the special teams unit. Byron Nelson and Arlington High getting ready to get underway in the second half, as we have just started the third quarter here. Bowie almost had an extra man on the field. He subs off at the last second. We're all good to go here. Extra point, up, end over end, and true. 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Rock Hill takes the lead 13-6. Back after this on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to John Wade Roofing. TXHSFB.com. Welcome back to Prosper ISD. The Blue Hawks taking a 13-6 advantage early in the third quarter. I think they only needed, 4 or 5 plays in order to do that, Jot? Like, that great kickoff return put them in excellent field position, and they took advantage.
Yeah, they got down there quick. Good job by Lawson there on that kickoff return. But if you're the Volunteers, the defense you had to fight to try to keep them out of the end zone. It was a good play call though by Rock Hill to score on that screen. Now the offense needs to respond. The offense did outgain Rock Hill though by almost 100 yards total. So let's see if they can continue that.
And those drives just were stalling by turnovers, man. That's all it was. Aside from what we just witnessed, Rock Hill's offense has not been able to do much against the Bowie defense. And now the Bowie turnovers and the missed extra point are coming back to prove somewhat critical.
As we have a man down on the field cramping. It is hot out there, folks.
It was 99 at kickoff. I'm sure it's still hovering in the early 90s here in this second half. The game between Byron Nelson and Arlington was pushed back 30 minutes in order to accommodate the wet bulb. I guess they had to keep it for this time slot tonight because of the broadcast team to our left covering the game over on network broadcast. Who would have thought that this game would be like one of the most covered games of the season, to have KDFI 27 to our left. We're here sandwiched in the middle with an NFHS crew calling things for Rock Hill on the other side of us. It's exciting to see that kind of exposure for these very talented athletes, and fun that we get to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's fun to be a part of it. You know, we had a chance to be next to CW last year during the district championship, and we still drew really good numbers. And we thank everybody that's been with us from that game versus South Grand Prairie to this game here. Watch a big close one, try to get the Volunteers to get a win out of the opening game versus Rock Hill.
This is just a handoff that goes to the left-hand side. Pickup of about 2 on the play by Zayden Smith.
If we do a time warp like Rocky Horror Picture Show, my voice will come back and I can speak coherently.
Speaking of Rocky Horror Picture Show, we lost a couple of legends in the span of a couple of days. The voice of Megatron, Dolly Parton herself, and then Tim Curry, the star of Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's been a rough week for pop culture. Handoff, and it looks like no gain on the play.
Speaking of rough weeks, it's been a rough week for this offensive line. Rough night for this offensive line. Having a hard time getting any push against Rock Hill. Though Zayden Smith did have 6 carries for 35 yards in the first half, the line itself has a hard time gelling to get a good push like we saw 2 years ago with Bowers as running back, and then we saw last year a lot as well. So it's been different with new coaching staff, new O-line, new OC. So just trying to get that gel going, but you have a 3rd and 8, try to get out of this and get a first down.
4 receivers set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Nichols sends his man to the opposite side, rolling to that side, rolling some more, going to that right-hand side, caught, first down, yardage to midfield. A well-executed play as Deontay Tennyson, who had some big red zone touchdowns last season, comes out from the tight end spot and moves the sticks for the Volunteers. 8:40 to go here in the 3rd period.
That was a good play right there. Good job by the offensive line to hold up long enough for Tennyson to leak out of the backfield as that tight end spot. It's kind of more of like a H-back. And then Nichols had 2 guys to choose from. He chose Tennyson. Tennyson got the first down. Good job, Volunteers.
This will be a handoff for no gain, maybe a loss back behind midfield to bring up 2nd down and 11. Good play there by the Rock Hill defense. They sniffed out Zayden Smith's run attempt pretty quick. Coming up on 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Two receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. A tight end for the Volunteers now on 2nd and 11. Corner blitz. They're trying to go away from it, and they do, but only getting back to the original line of scrimmage, if that. They went opposite of the blitz, but Rock Hill still able to converge and force a 3rd down and about 10. Student section trying to make some noise on the near side. The Bowie faithful have filled out the lower bowl a little bit more than when kickoff took place, but there's still a lot of Bowie faithful tuning in on YouTube tonight, and we appreciate everyone for being a part of it tonight. Pass play, trying to get away, got a man, and it's caught! Inside the 30, the brothers connect to move the sticks. Nichols to Nichols, 1st down.
I am my brother's keeper, and Nichols did a good job going up to help his brother out to bring that ball in. 1st down, Volunteers. As I
The coaches on the near sideline are trying to plead their case. Coach Wilkinson and Coach Johnson are down there talking to the Zebras at the 25-yard line, trying to say that he juggled that. Nichols coming in, trying to plead his case. And Wilkinson still in the ear of the line judge on the near side, but it will stay 1st down. No instant replay to make those kinds of calls. It is a judgment call of the officials on the field, and the Zebras say 1st and 10. Shotgun, handoff, draw play, up the middle. 1st down, yardage very near as it goes down to the 15. Bowie's in the red zone with under 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd.
And we're cooking with grease now. Good run by Jones Jr. back there in the backfield. He only had 4 carries in the 1st half.
Trying to do a pass play. Did that get picked off?
Yes.
Are you serious? The 4th interception of the night for Nichols. And all of the momentum Bowie had has left as another pick stalls another drive for the Volunteers with 6:38 to play in the 3rd. Looks like number 17, a defensive back / wide receiver, Nathan Kern, with the hands for the Blue Hawks. And they'll get it at the 21.
Yeah, and on the backside of that play, Maxwell was yelling for his brother because he was open. He was waiting for the ball. But with the designed rollout, the offensive line wasn't able to help. Good pressure there by Rock Hill. Mason threw something up and it got picked. So now you're looking at another possession ending in a turnover, which is the 5th one tonight. 4th pick, but 5th turnover.
Running play to the left-hand side goes for no gain. At some point, the defense has to get a little bit of frustration, Jot, as they are doing everything they can to keep this squad in it, and you get inside the red zone and you lose it again. It's just it's those first game jitters, but it is definitely concerning to throw 4 picks in one game. There's no way to sugarcoat 3 interceptions, as this reception comes up about 3 yards shy. That is Williams with the catch. Things to work on, things to improve on as you get ready for next week's action.
Yeah,
this doesn't affect your playoff implications, but it does give you a good meter to have an idea of what you need to work on in practice. As that one goes in and out of the wide open target on the far sideline. Just a overthrown ball and an incompletion.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration there on the Volunteer sideline. You got to do, first thing you do is go keep your quarterback's head up. He's throwing 4 interceptions. He's had a rough game, but you got to tell him, hey, if nobody's there, get rid of it. And that's one thing that he hasn't had a chance to, is get rid of it. He's ended up with 4 interceptions.
And they jumped offside. Or did they call timeout?
They jumped offsides.
Is that going to be stoppage with contact on the hard count? Or did somebody from Rock Hill jump first? The indication is offsides against Bowie, and the defense makes one of their first mistakes of the evening, as it was 4th down and 4. The hard count draws them offside. 5-yard penalty First down, Rock Hill.
You know, Zach, a lot of the games that we did last year and the year before, me and Tim Costello would talk about things that would hurt Bowie, and they had a lot of penalties. First half, they had 5 penalties for 31 yards. That's the first penalty here, and it comes at a bad time.
Looks like that'll go to the 35.
Last year, they managed to cut down those penalties when they got to district play. But those those non-district games for the last 2 years have always hurt Bowie when it came to penalties, and it's kind of made them harder games for them to win, or made them higher scoring games because the offense for the other team would stay on the field. That's the 6th penalty of the game. But the defense is still out there, 2nd and 8.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, as that pass is going to be in and out of the intended target again. Austin Ferris has a pretty strong arm, but he is throwing too fast for his intended targets. That one in the way of Elijah Edefunmi.
And Zach, across the Zap network, the Colts have scored to tie it up 7-7 over Byron Nelson.
3 receivers set with an H-back on the right. Tried to get him to jump and could not. It'll stay 3rd down and 8 for the 4-down lineman. Big drop over the top and incomplete. Ferris was looking for the deep cross intended for Leo Williams, and it'll be 4th down and 8, and the punt unit will come out with 4:56. Standing at his own 35 is Zayden Smith. Back to retrieve this punt. It's high. Smith will let it take a Bowie bounce across the 40 and across the 45, and Rock Hill will have to down it near midfield. That's where Bowie will get it 1st and 10 when we come back here on Zap.
Wade Family Funeral Home understands that saying goodbye is never easy. Since 1985, their family has been honored to shepherd local families through life's most difficult moments with compassion and respect. They provide exceptional care and trusted guidance while helping families create meaningful tributes that honor the lives of those they love. When you need them, Wade Funeral Home and Crematory is here to walk alongside your family every step of the way. Call 817-274-9233 to learn more.
Looks like an official's timeout has been called. They were breaking the huddle, and now they're back to it. Maybe a team timeout. Regardless, I guess we'll take a timeout with them, as we need to keep saying hello to some of our sponsors. We'll be right back after this.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome back to Prosper ISD. Taqueria Taco Express, the third quarter sponsors for the entire season. We appreciate them being a part of the Zap Network for, I want to say, the 3rd or 4th year in a row. Been a part of the great growth that we have been experiencing, as we have almost 200 folks tuning in on the YouTube chat tonight, and almost 100 for the Arlington game over in Justin. Arlington ISD supporting as this run goes up the middle. 1st down on the draw. What a great play call to send it straight up the heart of that overcommitting Rock Hill defense, move it into plus territory, and put it at the 40. 2 to the left, and the tight end moving to the left now as well. Handoff to the right. Rock Hill read that well, and it will be a loss. No, he's going to fight back to the original line of scrimmage. They say the ball is out. Rock Hill is signaling that it's their possession. Did that extra effort cost the Volunteers the ball again? There is a pile behind the number 4 on the far sideline, and it is Rock Hill football. 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third. It'll be Blue Hawk possession again when we come back on Zap.
Looking for great Texas barbecue at a price that's easy to love? David's Barbecue has been serving the Arlington community for generations with generous portions, fair prices, and friendly service. Whether you're stopping in for a meal or picking up something to go, David's makes it easy. You can use the drive-thru or call 817-261-9998 to place your order. David's Barbecue. Stop by and taste the tradition.
The 5th turnover of the game as the Bowie offense continues to stall. Rock Hill gets it at their own 40. As soon as they take a step forward, they take a step back and give it back to a team that they probably should be leading by a couple of scores now, as this deep post is caught and into plus territory. That one grabbed by Leo Williams, number 4, over the middle. And Rock Hill is moving.
What it does, it gives the offense of Rock Hill more time to gel. They've been on the field so much more than Bowie's offense is that they're able to come together as you get the pass there completed at the 35, that the offense is finding things that are working against the Volunteers. The Volunteers haven't been on the field as long, especially with so many turnovers ending drives, that is making it harder for the offense to come together.
Out of fund me with the reception there, number 2 for Rock Hill. 3 receivers set, handoff to the left-hand side. There's a crease, shaking a tackle, first down yardage as the extra effort gives an extra couple of yards to the running back. That's number 23, Miles Lyons, on the carry, and Rock Hill can sniff it with 3:25 to go here in the third.
And this is wearing down the big boys up front for Bowie, who've been very effective all game. They can't get back there.
Is that ball loose? Is that going to be an incompletion? The whistles seem to be indicating a incomplete forward pass rather than the old Tom Brady tuck rule. Orlando Campbell tuning in the YouTube chat. We try to give shout outs when we can. He has some relation to the offensive coach Campbell, part of this Bowie staff. Defensive coach, my apologies.
Well, Coach Campbell on defense, he's doing a spectacular job. So, young man, when you see your dad tonight, say, hey, defense is doing great. Let him know that we told him the defense is doing great.
They need a great stop here, as this one could be outside of Rock Hill's field goal range. 3rd down and 10 from the 22-yard line. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Pass play. Got some time over the top, and it is caught. Touchdown Red Hawks as Leo Williams got behind the safety, and Austin Ferris with a drop in the bucket for a Blue Hawk touchdown.
And the safeties were playing short. There's nothing you can do on that. It looks like a cover 0, maybe a cover 1. The safety's not back deep enough to get back there, but he's got to be the one when that receiver runs past your corners, you got to be back there ready for it. It's just not working. As they were a little trick play here for 2, incomplete.
So they tried to make it 21, and instead a very odd score of 19-6 with 2:37 to go here in the third. Rock Hill extending their lead as we take a break and come back here on the Zap Network.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com. Welcome back to Prosper ISD as the Blue Hawks capitalizing on points off turnovers, getting a touchdown from Ferris to Williams. And now Bowie with about 14 to 15 minutes of gameplay left. Do they have enough in the tank to get back into this one?
Speaking of getting back into things, the Colts, who trailed 7-0 at halftime, are in the red zone versus Byron Nelson with the ball, third down, trying to take a lead here. It is still 7-7.
Tightly contested game over on the other game on the Zap Network. They should still be playing by the time we go final, so be sure to lend their support as well. Onside a kick attempt, and Bowie falls on it at the 42. Those weird squibbers with the weird bounces could go in anybody's favor. And the sure-handedness of the Bowie Up men is able to secure possession for them with 2:36 to go here in the third quarter.
And the frustrating part about it is that Rock Hill has not kicked the ball deep. I don't know if that was part of their game plan or if their kicker maybe just doesn't have the leg to kick the ball deep. But Bowie has started with their ball, with every possession on a kickoff on their side of the 30 or their side of the 40 with really good field position, and they're not making anything happen out of it outside of one good drive for a touchdown before half. So the Volunteers offense needs to get something going here.
Smith is going to be the person that tries to do that, and he will get walloped at the 44-yard line, a pickup of just one on that handoff. Second and 9 as we come up on 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Jod, I wonder if this score remained what it was. Would this be considered scoregami? Because I don't know if I've ever seen 19-6 before.
Not out of two teams that averaged almost 30 points a game last year.
Wide receiver screen, interesting play call as the Volunteers are able to get some forward momentum there. Nichols making the reception and getting some extra effort there. It'll be third down and 3 after that catch and run.
Volunteers need to get a first down here. If you get the first down
you're not even thinking touchdown. You're just thinking first down.
First down.
Just get a first down after a first down after a first down. That's all you need to be thinking about right now.
And you have Maxwell by himself at the bottom. There is a safety kind of leaning his help, but he's going closer towards the middle of the field, so Max isn't really truly in a one-on-one situation.
Doesn't matter as the handoff goes up the middle, leaning forward, and Bowie gets just enough to put it on the 47 and move the chains.
Now what you do if you're the Volunteers on first down, if it was me, Zach, and I know that my biggest play has came off of a big pass to Burdow, you got to take one here. You got to before you send your offense out there to call this first down play, Max is one-on-one at the top of the screen. Safety's got a little bit of help. If you have Tennyson out there as a underneath, take a shot. Max is now getting pressed on. You got to throw a ball up to him.
2 to the left, another handoff up the middle, and maybe a yard or 2 on the extra effort. You got to admire the push there as something that looked like would be 2nd and 10 turns into 2nd and 7. But unless Bowie is quick to the line, that may be the final play of the third quarter as we find ourselves with the final 20 seconds of the third stanza.
And we are getting good runs out of Smith back there as the running back. I know he's listed as the number 2, but it's running back by committee. He's doing a good job using his feet, getting some runs out of it as she gets the ball there, breaks up the middle, good cut, and brought down at the 31-yard line.
And this is going to take some of the pressure off of Nichols, as he's not going to be the one that is expected to make a pass, make a play every single time, as Bowie finds themselves in plus territory again at the 32 to end the third period. Can they get it the final 32 yards and make this a one-score game? We'll find out after the break as we step aside for the fourth quarter coming up here in Prosper. John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistic Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pick-up so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistic Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
The fourth quarter is presented by our friends at John Wade Roofing. For all of your roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more, be sure to reach out to the family that does more by visiting johnwaderoofing.com. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this Week 1 action between the Volunteers and the Blue Hawks. The story of the game has been turnovers, Jot, plain and simple. If Bowie even has half of the turnovers that they do, this is a completely different score, completely different ball game.
It's a completely different score, completely different ball game. The thing is, though, is that even with take away half those turnovers, the defense is still fighting hard out there. Over time, you got to get something going. If you have 2 turnovers, 1 turnover, 6 turnovers, you have to find something to get going. Bowie hasn't made it past the 20 but once all game, and that was after the big touchdown catch from Birdow. You need to get some of that going again. They've gotten down the field. The penalties have hurt them. There was a second drive of the game for them. They drove down the field and had a holding penalty that brought them back to 2nd and 39 at one point. So penalties, little things, turnovers, that's stuff you gotta build on throughout the week.
They now move north to south for the final 12 minutes, as this one will be an RPO, quick out, and probably a loss after the big hit applied by the Rock Hill defense. That was a catch by Birdow, but it's for no gain.
And one thing that this is a good learning moment for Mason Nichols as a starter. You know, Bibbs was a starter last year, and Nichols came in here and there when times when Bibbs got hurt or in big games that were blowouts. You got to be able to read a little bit of defense. You see a screen, but you have a man going on that RPO. You just got to turn it and make the best decision. If you have somebody by themselves down the field, give it to them.
He's trying to give it to him over the middle, and he does. First down inside the 15. That RPO goes over the middle to Mad Max, and he puts Bowie in business here early in the fourth.
There you go. See, now the defense of Rock Hill, they're looking for all these short passes. Eventually, the deep pass is going to be there. You've had success with it when you've given it down the field deep. They're pressing you. You have to throw one over their head.
The official is going to issue a false start against the Volunteers to move it from the 13 back to the 18. 55 guilty of the early movement. Johnny Campos.
That is penalty number 8 on the Volunteers for the night, Zach.
Turnovers and penalties. And you know, I've been to practice with Coach Sam before, and the thing that he harps on the most is things that you can control. You can control holding on to the football. You can control making good decisions. You can control your fundamentals of your formation at the line of scrimmage. These are all things that Bowie is going to improve on. They have to improve on the deeper into the season that we get. Running backs switch sides with Nichols, and now one of them goes in motion as Nichols will keep it himself on the draw up the middle. The linebackers were not expecting that as he moves it inside the 10-yard line. I think that's the first time we've seen an RPO quarterback draw tonight.
That's a very creative play there because he switched the running backs, sent one of them out like he was going to throw a swing, and they've thrown so many passes underneath. The defense didn't know what to expect. Nichols pulled it and kept it for himself. Good run there to get those yards back plus some. Now you have 10 yards before you can score.
Just inside that 10-yard line. The first down marker is inside the 5, but they may not need it. Handoff, end zone, and down at the 1. It's first and goal, Volunteers.
He had a great lead block there by Tennyson up the field. He got a block on a linebacker, moved him out the way. He went and hit the safety and made it a good man to follow behind. 2 big blocks to get down to the 1-yard line.
Jumbo package is coming in to support LaQuintus Jones Jr., who is the running back. Couple of big boys in that shotgun formation. Nichols getting ready to take it at about the 7-yard line. Nichols is directing traffic. He'll give it to Jones Jr. He'll go to the middle, and Bowie will pull him across the goal line. And they'll give it to him. I had to hesitate for a second, but that is indeed a Bowie touchdown.
Second touchdown run of the night for the Volunteers, and both times they've been pretty questionable getting to the goal line.
It's been right on the edge, but they do break the plane and break into double digits. Extra point attempt would make it a touchdown ball game with 9:22 to go.
And this would be interesting. If I don't understand, I probably would have went for 2 myself, knowing that you've missed an extra point already once this game. The way your defense has been playing, but
Mad Max is the holder. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good. 9 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. In spite of the 5 turnovers, it's just a 6-point game. Back after this here on the Zap Network.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
When it comes time for your family to say goodbye to a loved one, you need a neighbor by your side. Rooted in the Arlington community for years, Wade Family Funeral Home remains the only family-owned and operated service provider in the city. With a wide range of services and options, their experienced staff can help you craft a lasting tribute that will endure. Visit WadeFamilyFuneralHome.com for more information.
Wade Family Funeral Home is one of our newest partners, and we're excited to have them along for this season. Yes, the Wades are related to the other Wades that also help us out. Blake is the cousin of John Jr., as Bowie sends this one away. They just love the city of Arlington. The entire family does, and so they were able to recruit a little bit of help to help improve the Zap broadcast experience. Rock Hill will get it at about the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 with 9:17 to go. And it's going to be up to that vaunted Bowie defense to get a stop after giving up back-to-back touchdown drives the last 2 times that they've been out.
the defense first half did a really good job of holding Rock Hill just to those 6 points, especially with 2 drives in the red zone to start for the Blue Hawks. But that first drive out of halftime, it was a lot. It was a lot of moving pieces here, especially against the passing attack of Rock Hill. The Volunteers just need to kind of get things together, get more pressure on the quarterback, and get him out of that spot, get him uncomfortable. If you can do that, you can try to get the ball back and get a chance to win this game with 9:17 left to go. Speaking of trying to get things going, the Colts have a 10-7 lead and the ball 4th and 5 over at the 35-yard line of Byron Nelson.
Handoff will go across the 35 to the 37.
Gain of 3 on the run. 2nd and 7. 9:03 left to go in the ball game. And Rock Hill is taking all the time they need to get a play call in.
You know, they've got the lead. So melt the clock a little bit if you can. This one's going to be broken up at midfield. And it'll be 3rd down and long with 8:39 to go here in the 4th. The Bowie defense is feeling it. Are you feeling it, Jot?
I am feeling it. You know who else is feeling it? Jamal Williams. He got in there to disrupt that pass. He's been very dangerous for the Volunteers. Had gotten the face of the quarterback, Ferris, made him throw a ball too fast on the slant as Ferris is down there getting checked out for cramps, I believe.
Got to stay hydrated in this Texas heat. Luckily, Prosper ISD and Arlington ISD both have great training staffs. And they keep us pretty well hydrated with a fridge full of Gatorades and sodas and waters here at Children's Health Stadium. Pretty good first impressions, I would say, as far as our vantage point and accommodations go, Jot. They were all very helpful in making sure that we were set up for success for tonight's broadcast.
They were, for our first time out here, they have done a really good job of making things hospitable, and I'm sure every visiting opponent has a similar experience. But the way they've had food for us, helping us get upstairs, getting passes in, setting our equipment up, everybody's been very, very kind to us here as the visitor coming from about an hour away south.
Bowie jumped. It's a free play. They're going to go to the right-hand side, rather. And now another flag is going to be thrown near the 33-yard line. Some extracurriculars going on with 8:38 to play in the ball game. So we are going to see how this unfolds as the official comes out. A roughing the passer against Bowie. And it is going to be 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, those penalties, Zach, every year, especially at the start of the year, we always have that conversation with the Volunteers. Penalties early are things that always haunt them. We've had those experiences last year and 2 years ago. You can't have 9 penalties in a game, especially when you've had situations against a team that has firepower. You cannot let that happen. That's just a lapse of carelessness.
Rock Hill with a little bit of momentum as this run goes inside the 40. It'll be enough for the first down. They're going to put him at the 38. With 8 minutes to go, Rock Hill trying to make it more than just a 6-point ball game. Even a field goal makes it 2 possessions here.
Yeah, that field goal makes it 2 possessions. The extra point that we missed back in the first quarter, second quarter, that does hurt. But if you're the defense from Bowie, you need to keep them from getting anything if you want to stay in this game.
Handoff again, and this one will be for a little bit less. A pickup of about 3, we'll call it. Handoff there goes to number 20. That's Braden Lucas on the carry. And that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
A lot of players on defense, but the defensive line, they've done a really good job throughout the game. They're getting pushed back now. Some of that's just fatigue. They've been on the field for so long.
There's 3 players over there that have hands on their hips before they get lined back up again.
Yeah, they're hurting down there. It is hot, and they've been on the field a very long time.
That fatigue showing here again as they get past that front line of defense all the way inside the 30 down to the 26. And that's a first down for Rock Hill.
Yeah, just that fatigue when you have three big linemen down there like that. And the first half they played great. We're able to get sacks out there. Kyle Johnson, he was one of the names that we called a lot in the first half. He has his hands on his knees and he's tired. It's hot and you're getting pushed back. But you need to try to get something here to save yourself and save this game.
7 minutes to go on the game clock. This run play is still going to go for positive yards. It looked like Bowie was going to meet him at the line of scrimmage, and somehow able to turn that into positive 2 yards is Lucas, number 20.
And speaking of big Kyle Johnson, he was there. He pushed back to the right guard enough to make the running back come back inside. Then he made the tackle. So big number 0, the junior, is making his presence known out there for the Volunteers.
Adefunmi is cramping up, and he is down for Rock Hill. Quickly able to hop to the sidelines so that they can resume play here with 6:47 to go in the fourth quarter.
And this Volunteers defense, they're just getting pushed back. They're letting time come off the clock. If you're Rock Hill is just the way they're running the ball. And you got to get something out of here. If you have to bring another extra lineman in for a 4-down or 5-down set on 3rd down when coming up, you're going to have to do it and let your corners play one-on-one coverage. Rock Hill's not looking to throw the ball.
This run play will go to about the 20-yard line. And here come a couple of fresh legs for the Bowie defense.
Yeah, this is where you bring your heavy set in. If you're Bowie, it's 3rd down and 5. If you have press coverage or one-on-one coverage on the outside, just don't let them get the 5 yards and hold them to the field goal here. You're still in this.
That's not an easy field goal, though. This could be 2-down territory. It's about a 35, 36-yarder. And we saw the end-over-end kick of Rock Hill earlier in this ball game. I don't know if I trust Spencer from this distance. They are back to pass. They're going underneath and incomplete.
Good defense.
A good job by the Bowie secondary to force 4th down, converging on the ball, and now a flag comes out afterwards.
Oh, that's not good. If that's on Bowie, that's going to give a free 1st down to Rock Hill. That was good defense, though, by number 17, Caden Garridow. He came in at the right time, batted that ball away, and made sure that the receiver wasn't going to catch it.
This will be a dead ball, most likely personal foul or unsportsmanlike.
Kyle Johnson, number 0, he's pointing that it's going to be on Rock Hill. He's maybe trying to get a little bit of edging on the referee. Say, hey, man, it's on them, not on me.
It is on them. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on Rock Hill will move them back 15 yards and push them out of field goal position.
Good job by the defense there. You made a good stop, and then you didn't get baited into doing anything aggressive, and now you've took them out of field goal position with a chance to get the ball back here, down 6 if they can hold them from scoring.
5 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the fourth, and I don't think Spencer is capable of kicking it from 51-52. So this is a long 4th down attempt. The line to gain is the Bowie 16, and Rock Hill has no choice but to go for it. Clock is rolling at 5:40 to go. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom for Austin Ferris.
If you're the safety for Bowie, do not let anybody get behind you on a post. That's where they're going to try to
pooch punt. Pooch punt by Ferris to try to pin them deep. And
get away from it.
Bowie will let it bounce to the 17, where they will try to mount a game-winning drive. 5:23 to go. Back after this.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
Welcome back to Prosper, Texas. Zach Arnold and Jot Hawley bringing you this ball game. Fourth quarter presented by John Wade Roofing, and the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing. We just really love John Wade Roofing, and they really love us and really appreciate all that they've done for the Zap Network over the years. Arlington has started to pull away in the fourth quarter against Byron Nelson. That other game on the Zap Network, a touchdown by the Colts is going to put them up 24-7 in the fourth, and that's against a team that went 10-3 last year, Jot. Their only district loss was to eventual state semifinalist South Lake Carroll. So Byron Nelson is no joke, and it seems as though this Arlington offense is no joke either. But now it's up to the Bowie offense to try to mount a drive with 5 minutes and 23 seconds and all 3 timeouts. If you can get a touchdown, you tie it. If you get that extra point, you take the lead in spite of all of your offensive woes here tonight. It's a 3-receiver set, 2 running backs for Nichols. And they're going to have to back him up 5 yards as somebody on the offensive line flinched.
Walked right into that trap, too. The defense was going to blitz you. They showed you what was coming, and you flinched right into the trap there. And that's going to be 5 yards back. Now it's 1st and 15.
Makes the job just that much harder for them with 5:23 to go. Ball all the way back to the 12-yard line. They need to mount an 88-yard drive in order to pull this one out. Nichols doesn't need all 88 right now, but he was thinking about it as he tried to hit his wide out in stride. Looking on that upside near the Bowie sideline, just in and out of the reach of his intended target. That's number 3, Berto. Wasn't able to haul that one in. So 2nd down and 15 now for the Volunteers.
Sorry, fans. The little bee is buzzing in my ear right now. And
If it's buzzing in yours too, we apologize. We're working on it. As Nichols working up in the pocket, going over the top, got a man in stride, across midfield, 1st down, Volunteers.
Did they give him the catch? Because he dropped it out of bounds. He's holding his hands like he dropped it out of bounds. He didn't catch it.
Oh, man.
He had a foot, he had a possession, and he shoveled past it out of bounds. You dropped the church's money.
Game of inches as number 13, Darian Carson, had his man beat and just could not haul it in off of his fingertips. 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Bowie does have all of their timeouts. This is not necessarily their final possession of the game, but I would dare say it's probably their most important.
And we have been saying all night that they need to take a deep shot. At some point in time, back-to-back deep shots here on 1st down and 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 15. You have to take it.
Up top, and I believe that's caught, but it's going to be short of the line to gain. No, now they're coming back and saying possibly incomplete.
And that's going to haunt you if you're Carson coming into the rest of the night, knowing you had not only a 1st down, you had possibly a touchdown. If you hold on to that ball on 2nd down, now it's 4th and 15. And your defense, who's already tired, has to come back out there again after a 3-and-out plus the penalty to try to save you once more to get one more chance.
They do still have all 3 of their timeouts, but that defense is going to most likely be playing in plus territory unless it is an absolutely amazing punt or an amazing punt return. 5:08 remaining in the 4th.
As there's a flag back here on the return by the returners, making center field.
It may have been a delay of game. It was, and they'll back them up another 5.
Yeah, that's not
running out of real estate here. Punter now having to stand in his own end zone on the S of Prosper.
As another volunteer comes running onto the field at the last minute.
They may have to call timeout. This special teams unit is not prepared.
Somebody's sleeping on the job down there.
They seem to have enough time. End over end kick that'll bounce at the 30-yard line. Rock Hill will pick it up at the 40 and try to take it across field. And they're going to get inside the 35 and finally get brought down at about the 33. So Leo Williams with a great return. Rock Hill in business. And the Volunteers needing to get a stop here with 4:57 to go. Fans, copy the link, hit that share button, send it to your group chat. It's up to the Bowie defense to try to get one more stop so that the Bowie offense will have an opportunity to march down and score.
On the other side, speaking of scoring, the Colts have scored. It is 24-14 in the fourth quarter. They're about to get the ball after Byron Nelson had answered their score on a touchdown drive. And that is in the fourth quarter. On the other side is Zap Network.
Handoff up the middle as expected. And it's a pickup of about 2. Coach Sam is going to let the clock drain a little bit here on this first down run. 4:40 to go here in the fourth quarter, as the Blue Hawks just trying to keep Bowie at arm's length. The Volunteers trying to get one more stop.
If you're Bowie, you try to come heavy here on second down for your defensive line. You're expecting to run up the middle. Third down, you got to be careful, though, because Rock Hill does have the ability to go deep. They do have good players like Lawson and like Williams, who have both had big plays. So you got to be careful on third down if you get to that point. But you got to get a second down stop here.
Quarterback keeper, and he'll only pick up a yard or 2. So that'll go to the 30-yard line as Ferris on the quarterback counter keeper will make it 3rd down and 6. A big 3rd down when we come back here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing. Don't go anywhere.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
3rd down and 6. Are you loading the front 7 if you're Bowie, Jot?
I am loading the front 7 as the lights have next to us. It got dark over there. I don't know what happened. Maybe the booth turned off. No, somebody's turning off the lights in a booth somewhere.
It wasn't us.
Nope, I see lights flickering.
Did get a little more shaded, though.
Something's going down.
This 3rd down is what's going down as Bowie needs to make a stop here. They're selling out against the run, and they get it. That's a 4th down back at the 31-yard line as the Bowie defense gets one more needed stop and calls timeout with 3:53 to go here in the ball game. They have one timeout remaining now after taking one during the last run play. And this is still going to be outside of Rock Hill's field goal range, I feel like, Jot. And if you miss it, you put Bowie in decent field position. So I'm looking for that pooch again.
I'm looking for either the pooch or for the attempt to go for it.
Or just go for it, right. At 4th and 6, if you get it, you essentially ice the game. Bowie still has one more timeout plus the 2-minute timeout, but it definitely makes it a lot harder, especially with the effort that it's taken for the Bowie offense to get things going tonight.
Right. Thinking that Bowie is not going to be able to drive down the field 80 yards, that's something that Rock Hill is willing to take a bet on. So if Rock Hill decides to push punt it and that Bowie gets the ball around the 20, that's a long field to go. You got to make sure that the offensive line, if you're Bowie, you got to tell them, look, we're going to be passing the ball a lot depending on where we get the ball at. You have time to run it with 4 minutes left if you get the ball here, but you have to be ready. The offense needs to be ready. The defense right here needs to be ready, though, on 4th down, 4th and 7.
The offense is going for it.
He might pooch punt it again, like you said.
Ferris will take an extra 2 yards back and will end it. And it will go inside the end zone, so it's a touchback. They won't pin him deep, but Bowie gets it at the 20 with 3:48 to go. We have technically paid all of our bills. We've said hello to all of our friends and all of our sponsors. I do need to circle back, though, and remind people about some special help that we've got in the second quarter. We were having kind of hectic elements early in the ball game and didn't get to talk about the second quarter that much. But we do have a new partner for the second quarter, and that is our friends at Arlington Scanner, your source for local breaking news, weather, community updates, and high school sports. Stay connected with the stories that matter most by following Arlington Scanner on Facebook or by visiting arlingtonscanner.com. It's going to be a 3-receiver set, and Bowie's going to hand it off to the left-hand side. Has the H-back as the lead tackler. First down yardage as that run goes for 9.5, almost exactly 10 to give Bowie a little bit of forward momentum. On the carry there, number 28, Jones Jr. First down for the Volunteers at the 30-yard line. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the fourth.
That was a good run there by Jones Jr. Now you try to add that together. 3:25 left to go in the fourth.
They're going to try and run to the right-hand side, and the mustard is on the lettuce for a very obvious holding call. And as soon as Bowie made it to the 30, they get backed up back to the 20.
Not even just the mustard on the lettuce. You just knocked over the whole mustard.
That's a whole salad that just got ruined by that can of mustard.
Hines is upset now.
Number 54, guilty of the infraction, Willie Gay, will back things up 10 yards for the Volunteers. 3:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. Copy that link, hit that share button. In spite of everything, Bowie is still one touchdown away from sneaking out of here with a win. But they've got 80 yards to go and only a couple of minutes to do it. Over the top, looking for Nichols, and the back judge says he caught it.
I was getting ready to say, Zach, to the
That's
safety.
Birdo on the catch, my mistake, but he was able to get the basket grab, and Bowie's got it near midfield.
I was going to say the safeties are playing very short for Rock Hill, especially with the arm that Nichols does have. They were playing within 5 to 7 yards. All it took was a receiver to get back there, and that was Birdow. Good throw, good catch by Birdow. He has over 100 yards on the night. Had 86 at halftime. Keep an eye out for Mad Max down here at the bottom. Single coverage, safety runs in.
2:50 to go. One-on-one coverage. Over the top, in and out of the hands of the intended target. He was looking for 13, Darian Carson, and he put it where only Carson could catch it, but it goes in and out of his fingertips. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Bowie 53 yards away from a game winner.
A few times tonight, Carson has dropped passes that could have changed the game. The last drive, he dropped the ball that he was open on a fade route there at the 50, kind of shovel passed it out of bounds. There was a harder catch. He's diving for it, but even then, he's got to be able to bring it in. It's a hard catch, but you're trying to make your way to the next level. That's your chance to do it. That's a big catch for you.
Shovel pass, Birdo, he's got blockers. He's got a first down. He's inside the 40-yard line, and Bowie is on the march with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Birdow trying to put the bird down on his own.
That started strong.
Put the bird down on his own?
It started strong.
Look, 2.5 equals 1 in the bush, all right?
It started strong. I'll say that.
Hey, I'm not a genius, all right? I'm just a scientist, Doc.
2.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Bowie in plus territory and on the march, trailing by 6. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Nichols will take it. Handoff, and Prosper Rock Hill was all over that one. Stop for no gain, as that will probably take us to the 2-minute timeout. Second down and 10 from the Blue Hawk 40.
He kind of rushed the snap there, Nichols did. He saw the blitz by Rock Hill, and he didn't let them kind of get set, so they were still in motion when he snapped the ball.
Back in 30 seconds as Bowie is on the march trying to get the game-winning score. This is High School Football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. We're in for an exciting final 2 minutes here in Prosper, Texas. In spite of 5 different times that Bowie has given up possession to the opposition, they find themselves trailing by just 6 points and on the march with a second down and 10 at the opposing 40-yard line. And did another timeout just get called?
TV timeout.
Oh, we're in a TV timeout. Our neighbors next door weren't finished paying their bills yet, so they will get to extend the break by just a little bit more. The Arlington Colts leading by 10 in the fourth quarter against the Byron Nelson Bobcats. The Bowie Volunteers looking to close the gap here at Prosper Rock Hill. Jot, if you are the Bowie offense, what are you looking for to get those final 40 yards?
I would say the deep ball here because Rock Hill's not expecting it, but the last few deep balls have been incomplete passes on good passes. Not saying that anybody's in the wrong, not blaming anybody, but they've been passes that need to be caught if you're trying to win the game, right? But you have 2 minutes here. You can try to get a few more runs. Smith and Jones Jr.'s have been very effective this half, and especially this drive. So I would try to run here, but 2nd and 10, you got to get the first down first, kill some clock, and see what you can do.
Play action. Nichols rolling, in trouble. Going to have to put it up in the direction of Birdo, and he just throws it away.
That's dangerous there. We were saying earlier, you got to get rid of the ball at some point when you're under pressure like that. And that ball lobbed too far high that it didn't look like it was going to go out of bounds. So it would have been a free sky pick for Rock Hill.
Thankfully, they avoid that disaster, and it's just 3rd down and 10. Obviously, 2-down territory. You've got to march down and get a touchdown here inside of 2 minutes. So you don't need the whole 10 right now. However, that RPO, well, no need for an RPO. We're going empty set here.
Yeah, be careful with the blitz. The offensive line has to be ready to pick up anything and everything coming their way.
It's 3 to the right, 2 to the left. 4-man front across the middle, and it's incomplete. They did try to get the short yardage over the middle, and it was broken up, probably a little bit behind the intended receiver also. And now that we've gone under the 2-minute timeout, this could be the ball game.
It could be the ball game here. You have enough time that you might get lucky and try to get the ball back with a few seconds. But if you're Bowie, you don't want to leave that to chance. You got to get the first down here. It's 10 yards, a full 10 yards. Go to your best player, best receiver, most effective, anybody.
Nichols back to pass. Got some room, stepping up. He's going to throw. It's caught. First down yardage inside the 30, and Bowie's drive stays alive.
And he used his legs there. He hadn't done much of that tonight. He kind of panicked when he had a lot of pressure. Good job by Nichols stepping back into the pocket, seeing that he had just enough space to get that ball open for the first down.
He almost took off and ran with it, and I was seriously worried he wasn't going to get there, but he hesitated, stayed in front of the line of scrimmage, found the open man, and extends the drive. 1:30 to go as the clock is running. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff to the left-hand side, bouncing off a would-be tackler inside the 25 and down to the 24. We'll call it a pickup of about 3. And Bowie's down to 1:15 and not calling their last time out.
That was kind of a wasted play there to run the ball on 1st and 10. The clock's moving. You're at the 24-yard line.
A field goal does nothing for you. You've got to go. There's 1 minute left in the game, and they're playing like they've got 4 minutes.
Yeah, you've got to go there. You got 2 down at the bottom, but you have a safety up top.
They're trying to leave Rock Hill with no time, and I understand that, but this is not enough time for your offense the way that you've been playing tonight.
Max is being pressed. You need to throw that ball to your brother. But
Nichols
at this
throwing,
point,
caught inside the 20, trying to get out of bounds, inside the 15, and he does finally get wrested out of bounds at about the 13-yard line with 42.2 to go on the clock.
He had a blocker there, Birdow. He had to turn around and get the block. He didn't set one for Carson, but good job by Carson, though. Keep fighting, getting out of bounds. But now it's first down at the 13.
The 13-yard line.
Max was being held on the line of scrimmage. He had a chance if he threw it over there. There's an automatic flag. You can't hold that receiver like that. They're expecting him to throw to his brother, so he was holding him on the line of scrimmage.
3 receivers to the left, nobody to the right. They're going to try that shuttle pass. Birdo to the right side, inside the 10 to about the 9. And it looks like Bowie will call their 3rd and final timeout at the 9-yard line. 33.2 seconds to go. Bowie is out of timeouts inside the 10-yard line, looking to steal a win on a night when they had 5 turnovers and probably did not deserve to win this ball game.
Yeah, the defense kept you in this game all the way through. There was one really impressive drive by Rock Hill coming out of halftime, and then there's one farther in, but it was kind of set up because of the turnovers. Outside of that, 5 turnovers by the offense is not going to win you any game. It shouldn't, but you have a chance to do it with 36 seconds left. You can't run the ball here, though, unless you tell your players you got to get all the push you can. If we run the ball, we got to get back to the line of scrimmage quick and do it again.
First down yardage is the 3-yard line, so they don't have to go for the end zone yet on this second down play. They can pick up a first down without a touchdown.
That's the Crosstown Zach quick update. 31-14, Colts lead. Bobcats have the ball, though. First down in the fourth quarter, but the Colts have a 17-point lead. Here, 2nd and 6.
They put a few seconds back on the clock. Exactly 36 seconds remain in the ball game as we've got twins on the near side and far side. Tight bunch formation as Nichols rolls to his right, looking across the middle, going to try to dump it off, and it's over the top of his intended target. Would have been first down yardage if number 4, Zayden Smith, was able to haul that one in out of the backfield.
Nichols, the blitz moved Nichols out of his pocket because underneath on a drag was Birdow at the 5 with nobody around him because Rock Hill had sent the house. The house was wide open. Go take what you want and go get you a touchdown and call it a day. Nichols, you gotta sit in the pocket. You know the hit's coming. You gotta wait a second.
31.6 to go now. Third down. Blitz coming on the backside. Rolling to his right. Going to have to go underneath. And that is going to be an incompletion. Is it a loss of downs? It is.
That shouldn't be. He's out of the pocket.
But I don't think he reached the line of scrimmage and there was nobody in the area. So it was third down, so that'll bring up fourth down. "17 seconds on the clock, but I don't know if that's accurate.
No, it's a 10-second runoff on a
10-second runoff.
10-second runoff.
So from 27 to 17, and they move it all the way back to the 18-yard line. So it is fourth down with 17 seconds to go.
Despite being out of the pocket, that ball didn't get past the line of scrimmage. Now you have to throw this ball deep.
Clock is running. This is the ball game. 12 seconds to go. Rock Hill showing pressure. Nichols rolling to his right. You got to get it up to the end zone and over the top of Birdow. It's incomplete, and Prosper Rock Hill is going to start the season 1-0.
Nichols had time for a moment. Backside blitz came in. The left tackle and left guard, they let the blitzer come through and move Nichols out of the pocket. You gotta put that on the offensive line. Back-to-back plays. You knew the blitz was coming. You didn't leave a running back there. You eventually did on this last play. The offensive line, you have to hold your block because your blocks are important to get rid of the ball. You don't hold your blocks, hey, there's nothing you can do about that, and that leaves Nichols having to roll out, and that's the game. When you're offensive lineman, you see the blitz coming, you know the blitz is coming, you have to hold that linebacker back. Don't let your quarterback get hit from the backside, and that's what happened. When you rolled out, your left guard said, well, he's gone. Let me leave my man alone, and that doesn't win you any games. And that's some of the cause of the turnovers, too, is your offensive line never gelled, leaving Mason by himself in a few instances, and picks happened, sacks happened, and now it cost you.
Ferris takes a knee, and Rock Hill is able to take advantage of Bowie mistakes and will start the season 1-0. Bowie will drop to 0-1. Final score in this one, Prosper Rock Hill 19, the Volunteers 13. We'll go ahead and take this right into the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing. The Wade family is celebrating 40 years of serving the Arlington area and 5 years of partnering with ZAP. Get MVP treatment from a former football MVP and his all-star family. John Sr. was the MVP for Arlington in 1976, and John Jr. carried that legacy into his playing career in the 90s. Their family has served the community for generations and want to help your family the next time you have a roofing need. Call 817-265-5520 to find out more. Zach Arnold alongside Jot Holly with Merrick McDonald on the camera work, Yadi Pagan manning the scoreboard. A team effort here in the broadcast area tonight. But Jot, the Bowie unit as a team has a lot of lessons that they can learn from this week 1 game to carry into the rest of the season.
Right, and it's early. It's the first game of the year. Last year we had a similar situation. You won district championship out of it. The year before we had a similar situation. It was a 49-42 game, and you won a district championship out of it. So you take these lessons. You try to win a district championship again. You've done it 2 years in a row. The lesson is for this one though is that you gotta find something on offense that helps your team out, helps your quarterback play to his strengths, and helps your offensive line play to theirs. Because until you find until you get the gel out of the offensive line of what you really need, you're gonna have a hard way to go for the next 2 weeks of non-district play with South Grand Prairie, who you know very well, and Haltom, who you also know very well.
Who would you list as the player of the game? I'm inclined to go Birdow because he had such good receiving yards tonight.
Birdow had over 100 yards receiving. He did great on offense. I think he carried the offense. Yeah, so for me, offensively, it's got to be Birdow. On defense, the defense as a unit did a great job, from the secondary to big Kyle Williams, big Kyle Johnson up in the middle, getting good plays. The defense did everything you could. That's the true player of the game, because the defense held them to 6 points at halftime, covered the mistakes of the offense, and then outside of 2 good drives in the second half, they kept you all the way in until a 19-13 loss.
And gave you opportunities to win. And that's really all you can ask of your defense, is to give you opportunities to make a play and to do what you need to do.
Right.
Taking a look at some scores from around the area. The scoreboard report is presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing. Call Caleb Renfro if you need a cast iron replacement specialist at 817-807-7069. The other game that's going on in the district tonight, Arlington leads 31-14 late in the fourth quarter against Byron Nelson. Sam Houston, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, will be playing North Mesquite at Choctaw Stadium. You'll be on the call for that one tomorrow. Seguin plays Terrell, and Little Elm comes to visit Lamar at UTA, while the Martin Warriors will go play at Mansfield tomorrow. Trying to take a look at how that game with Jenks, between Jenks and South Lake Carroll, is going. I'm trying to find that score on the Dave Campbell's app, and there are some nights where it just doesn't want to work out for you. 33-28 is the score. Jenks leads South Lake Carroll at the moment. And then don't forget, North Crowley-Aledo is also a district team that's playing this week. Should be a good one. That'll be played tomorrow night. That's just about it for us for tonight's ball game, though. Bowie falls to 0-1. Our next Zap broadcast will be tomorrow night between Sam Houston and North Mesquite. Our next Bowie game will be next week, a little bit closer to home, as Bowie comes home to play against SGP over at Choctaw Stadium. We're looking forward to that, and looking forward to bringing you district and just Bowie football coverage in general this season. Jot, any final thoughts before we call it a night here?
Final thoughts. It's first game of the year, so you take what you can and you build off of it. You take your defense, you build off of that. You say, hey, defense, you guys did a great job. Offense, we have work to do. I know we have new coaching staff, new quarterback, but we still have some of the same pieces. We do have a lot of seniors on this offensive line, so you got to take what you can and build around it. Coach Sam always does a good job of that every year. He always cuts back on the penalties by the time they get to district play. So take away the penalties and the interceptions. Those are things you need to work on. But collectively as a team, it's a first game. You know who you play next week in South Grand Prairie very well, and you want to turn it around, try to get a win to go 1-1 before you get to Haltom and then district play. Because when you get to Aledo, because Aledo is now the you go from
you can't give them any freebies,
because you go from being the measuring stick.
You can't give them free possessions.
That's right. Because for us, Bowie is the measuring stick because they're back-to-back district champions. South Grand Prairie is now gone. You bring in Aledo. Though you might be the reigning district champion for the city and for this area, Aledo is doing something that you have yet to do, and it's competing for state championships. So they're the measuring stick, no matter how your success was last year. And playing this game, depending on how tomorrow goes for Aledo, might not be the way you think it's going to go. So that's all these lessons lead to that.
A lot of lessons learned tonight, both on the production side and on the football field. We learned that not all power supplies are created equal. We learned how to run cables from one floor to another. We learned how to troubleshoot virtually in order to set up success for the other broadcast that's going on as Arlington is getting ready to finish the job against Byron Nelson. They lead and are getting ready to close up shop over in Justin Northwest. We're going to close up shop as well as we officially cross the 1,000 subscriber threshold tonight on YouTube. Thank you to everybody for your support of the Zap Network and for being a part of what we do.
Can I give one shout out real quick? I want to shout out my little cousin Isaac. He's a Bowie senior. He made the drive. Him and my cousin Rachel, they made the drive out here tonight. He is a photographer, and he's out there getting photos on the sideline of the Bowie volunteer football team. So he's going to enjoy his senior year. We'll see a lot of them out there getting photos of the team to enjoy this ride while he can. So shout out my little cousin out there working hard using that camera.
Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to our cameraman, Merrick McDonald, who was a trooper all evening as he learns the ropes of camera work. Shout out to Yadi Pagan for helping us out tonight, and to you, Jot, for being a part of tonight's play-by-play and color commentary action. And a shout out to all of you that are still in the chat. There's over 60 of you. We appreciate each and every one of you and hope to see you next week here on the Zap Network. But that is going to do it for us. For all of us at Zach Arnold Productions, we thank you for supporting local football and local businesses by tuning into tonight's broadcast. Until next time, have a great night.